Hey, welcome to episode 8 of the Wheels Blues podcast. On today's episode, we have, as always, the talented...
At Tin Can Blues. I'm here through hell and high water, through thick and thin. We're going to get you a podcast, so I'm not going to miss this one, that's for sure.
At Eric _83. And we got the vaccine for the blues.
This is the vaccine for the blues.
At Swede, I'm here. Hey.
Yeah, you would say that.
Yeah. Got nothing. I'm all laughed out.
Oh, this. Fuck.
And as always, I'm Glorious Leader Wheels.
Glorious Leader.
Wow.
Mighty Wheels. Praise be. Thank you for the sunrise.
That's what I do.
Feel a little bit about the sun now, I tell you.
Fuck yeah, then you made it snow, you dick.
Yeah, because I am all about the snow.
We had this conversation in the last pod about will winter die? And then Glorious Leader over here, sun comes out, no, fuck you, snow time. You know?
I don't think
Someone's
that's
been
how that
watching
conversation
Frozen
went.
What the fuck, man? Come on.
Singing along with Elsa.
And Helen Mirren.
Is she in that?
No.
Oh, no, that's right. Helen Mirren.
Nancy Pelosi. In Wheels' dreams, a bunch of snow and Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, give them an
Rematch.
excuse to stay in the house and look at pictures of those gals.
Nancy Pelosi's like 80. I'm too young for Nancy Pelosi.
You just said you had a thing for her in the last show.
I just said she's a strong, independent woman. I can say that, okay? It doesn't make me into Nancy Pelosi.
Kind of
Yeah, it
sounds
does.
like you
Yeah,
are,
it does.
though.
Sounds like denial, bud.
Yeah.
All right, so should we start this show off right, boys?
Are we gonna? Yeah,
Let's
do
start
this.
her off with a shot of Pink Whitney.
Cheers, spice.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, 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 Twitter world.
Ooh.
Well, that's been
That's
warming up in the glass on the table here for a little while.
Well, you have like
Right.
3 computers going, so I believe that.
Hey, man, I'm a busy guy.
I bet. So
Alright.
what have you been up to this last week of unemployment and being a father?
Well, actually, I did have to go to work a couple of times, but it was quick. I was very careful, and everybody around, there was hardly anybody around. And if there
What
was,
do you have to do this week?
I had to help move a water heater into place, and then I had to fix a water line that was behind the wall at one of the hotels. But hotels are shut, so it's a good time.
Are they
to
all
shut
shut
water
down now? I was curious about that. I heard that some of them are still open and operating as like usual.
Yeah, I think there's still guests at this one particular hotel, but I think it's more like workers, like pipeliners and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah, and
did
I
hear
think
that.
they're kind of sticking to the motels as opposed to the hotels. That way,
Yeah.
they kind of all have their own
And the-
space, right? Like the Marmot
Yeah.
is still serving for the pipeline workers and stuff.
And they got them like separated. Like when you go there, there's like a car here, a car there. It's almost like they're putting them deliberately in the far reaches of the hotel, like as far apart as they can get them.
Yeah,
APL shut down today.
yeah.
Really?
Did they finally shut down
entirely.
today? Because
Yeah.
last
It was
week,
after that tirade on Facebook, I think, kind of forced it to go a little faster. But
That's good.
because I was told that like last week, one of our fine liquor delivery people told me that these folk came into the merch and were like, "Oh yeah, we're staying at JPL because like they got these like crazy low rates right now."
Yeah, I heard that too.
Like,
I heard
really?
that
It's like
story.
you
Yeah.
fucking idiots! Like fuck you.
Yeah, so those guys were like, "Wow, it's cheap. Let's get going."
Oh, let's get COVID and get out of here.
Yeah, like fuck
Right?
this. Let's go to what the fuck.
Yeah, so there's still a lot of idiots out there. Katie said today that a family of 7 came into the restaurant today, like for
Wow.
a pickup, and then they were trying to like wait inside, and she's like, "Fucking no! Like
Get the hell out of here. Yeah.
Family of 7.
Like, can,
what are
can
you
6
doing?
of you wait outside while one of you comes in here to get the food?
yeah, it comes in to get the food. Doesn't come in to wait for the food.
Yeah,
There's even
yeah.
a sign on the
Like
door saying,
everybody
"Waiting
else-
for food."
Everybody else wait outside.
No,
One person
everybody
going to get
outside,
food.
not even everybody else.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people are not getting this whole, like, I don't understand how people can't, like, do this.
Because it's a long weekend, yo. Did they like tourists still coming? Like that's.
It's been a long weekend for the last month.
Yeah, I know. But like people are literally going to like, oh, I'm gonna quarantine in Jasper, and it's like you're not quarantining if you're leaving your fucking home and going and staying in a hotel where people have to go into your room and clean your shit. Like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't understand how people don't understand what fucking self-isolating and quarantining is.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. I haven't left my house in like 4 weeks.
But hey, you know what? It's finally a long weekend. Like, fuck, here we go, boys. Long weekend.
Woo.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I heard the lodge has some cheap rates. Maybe we should all go out there. And...
That's what I was saying. I was like, fuck, maybe I should get away for a weekend. Just take a little trip myself.
Yeah, there you go.
little birthday present for me.
Oh, there you go.
Go and get a massage, spend some time out at the spa, go swimming in the pool, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe Oka will open up for me and
maybe.
fucking
Right.
Maybe we'll come out, we'll shoot a pod on location. I'm sure they got microphones we can all use and everything.
I'm sure they got
share them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Should go over fine, I think.
Get the gardener's cabin for like $500 a night. That's like a steal.
No, man, if they're doing the deal, then like you should just get the Queen's cabin. They're probably giving like 25% off. It'll only be $7,500 a night.
Wasn't Harry fucking hold up there?
Yeah, oh yeah, maybe they still are. I wonder.
Were they? Because I heard a rumor that they were like that's where they were staying, but I was like, no.
Like when they lived in Canada for 2 months, they were at the lodge?
No, they live in Canada now.
No, they just moved to California because Megan wants to get back into movies.
Oh yeah, great time. I hear they're shooting a lot of films right now.
All the time now. It's boom. Business is booming.
I promise you the weather will be better. So.
Was she in movies?
Yeah, she was in Suits, man.
Oh, I was thinking like some backdoor.
That's not a movie. That's a fucking TV show.
Okay, well, she was in something that was pretty mainstream.
Yeah.
Was it the British version or wait? No, it was a Japanese version. Was the original? I think. Never mind.
Oh, really?
It's an American remake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
okay. Shit, I didn't know that.
Interesting.
No, good for her.
Yeah.
So, you guys been keeping up with any of the? I guess watching some of the old sports on TV or what?
I've been kind of avoiding it, man. It's depressing. Yeah? It's depressing.
Is it really?
It's kind of depressing. I want new sports.
I tell you, man, those 93 Jays look like they're gonna wrap it up.
They're definitely gonna wrap it up.
I believe in them. I'd like to get me one of them championship hats for sure.
Oh man, or a sweater, a white sweater.
I had one of those championship.
Yeah, no
hats.
hoodie, just an actual sweatshirt.
Yeah. Well, I think I think my brother and I, loyal listener at Shroot One, we had like the back-to-back, like ugly, like not white, but white.
Yeah,
sweaters, like.
Yeah, like you take it off to drink your chocolate milk because you're blowing bubbles in that shit.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of those old games. It's fun. It's kind of fun.
It is. They're good games. Like, I'm not knocking them. I just I know what happens.
Sportsnet showed Game 6. I think it was Game 6 of Dallas and Buffalo from '99.
Oh yeah,
the one foot in the crease?
The fucking no goal.
Yeah. Foot in the crease, Brett Hall.
Yep.
But I was like, here it comes. Nice. Too funny. I always think.
That's just one of those huge controversies, man. It's always going to be there. It's like, what are you going to do? They're already like the whole bench is already on the ice, and
you talk to Rob Balzac because he's a big fucking Dallas Stars guy. Like he will, if you say even like did that go like was that legit? He will just go off for like at least 10 minutes.
About it being,
why it was a goal, why it counted, why the foot placement, and oh man, it's disgusting.
Hey, by the rules of today, it's a good goal, but by the rules of 1999, it was.
Didn't they change the rules because of that goal to be like, oh, see, this is the rule now, so it's cool.
I don't think so. I think they changed. Like it was kind of when the lockout happened, the first one. Well, I think it was the first one, and they got rid of like the 2-line pass and all that stuff. Like
that was
when they did all that rule
rule
change. I think that's when they got rid of that. They changed it to make the game more to like improve scoring, because that whole dead puck era thing was.
Yeah, it was tough.
Well, but you watch these old games. For instance, I was watching. I think it was the night. It was like an Edmonton Calgary series from like back in the day. It was that game where Fleury scores the goal.
Oh yeah,
and he
okay.
slides. So whatever that. First of all, holy shit, were there a lot of Leafs on that fucking team?
There was.
But they were like getting away with fucking murder.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I'm
like watching. I'm like, that's a penalty. That's blatantly a penalty. Like, it wasn't just like playoff hockey. It was like, holy shit.
You watch Gretzky skate around in the playoffs. They're just sticks under his arms, like sticks everywhere. He's just getting hooked all over the place, and he's still making like behind the back no look passes on the tape through like 5 guys.
You say Gretzky, and it is Easter, and I say that it's fitting that Jesus Christ would have to go through the Stations of the Cross.
Oh man!
Whilst skating up the ice.
Yeah, holy shit, man! He was just like, man, he's fucking incredible, man. Like when they had that kind of alumni game between Edmonton and Winnipeg a few years ago. And Gretzky played, and like Messier played, and like Dale Hawerchuk played, and I think even Solani played on that team, which was pretty much not fair. The guy was only like a couple years removed from retirement. He was still flying around. Like, he was still like he never missed a fucking day.
Yeah.
And there's fucking like Gretzky and stuff, and Gretzky was like, he wasn't playing good. Like it's been a long time since he was on ice, I think, and. But still, after the game, they were talking to him, and they're like, he made this wicked pass to Paul Coffey on the point. Like, just didn't even see him. Just somehow it was just right on Coffey's tape. And in the press conference after, they're like, oh, like, how did you see him there? Like, how did you know that he was there? And Gretzky just says, oh, yeah, no, I saw him in the glass. Like, who thinks to do that? Like, that's why he's the greatest.
It's pretty smart though, and like honestly, it kind of makes sense that you would like.
Yeah, but like
try to look the reflection in the glass.
Yeah, but like, and then not only did he see, he's like, okay, Paul Coffey's behind me. He looked in the glass, and then he made a pass on the tape. Like it's even at 50 odd years old, he's still got like, he could still outthink probably like 90% of the players in the game right now.
I gotta say.
Tyson just went from 6 p.m. to fucking midnight right here.
I didn't say he could outplay him. I said he could outthink him.
Well, that's why Gretzky's one of the best.
Man,
if I
was actually playing, it would probably never occur to me to do that. But like thinking like logically about it, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
To think to do that.
Yeah, like but that's why
you don't play at eye level with the glass anyway. So I guess that's why you wouldn't, right?
Yeah,
I was gonna say, can you do that in? I was going to say, can you do that in sledge hockey?
You cannot.
No. You could mount some of those like rear mirrors on your sledge, though.
That's cheating. That's like Sean Avery standing in front of a goalie. Do you
think there's anything in the rules? Is you think there's anything in the rules?
I'm pretty sure that's probably
not. Find it in the rule book. Find it in the rule book.
I don't know.
You can't have mirrors on your.
There's ways around it, man. You can find a way to get a mirror onto your face.
A mirror
without them knowing. Look, just like a fucking little one.
The little spy shades, with the little mirrors on the right side of the lenses there.
Sure.
Like a fucking pitcher in baseball will have like Vaseline behind his ear, and you just, I'm scratching my head, and you got a fucking wad of shit on your fingers.
That's cheating.
Well, of course it's cheating, but cheating is a cornerstone of sports.
You don't get good unless you cheat.
Yeah, can you cheat better than these guys?
Yeah, well, I want to emulate Tom Brady, and he's not a cheater.
Sorry, that's something caught in my throat.
That was the Justin Wheeler joke of the week, everybody.
I'm here for like another hour and a half.
What about Tom Brady? Like, what's up with him and going to Tampa Bay? Why? Why Tampa?
Why Tampa? Because it's Tampa Bay. It's like warmer there. It's actually he went there because that's where his kid's from.
Well,
Like,
he's
that's his
old
kid.
too. I guess it's time for him to start thinking about retirement homes.
It's
And
probably getting there. Yeah.
So this is more of a real estate like
Yeah.
stakeout than it
Absolutely,
is.
There's a real nice home with golf carts and stuff out
There's
that
got to
way.
be a reason people retire in Florida, man. It's
yeah, he's
nice.
sick of being a snowbird, I guess, huh?
Yeah, for sure. It's
Did you
fucking
say
cold
his
in Boston.
kid?
Yeah,
Did you say his kids were?
Yeah, he's got a kid with his first wife that lives in Tampa.
Oh,
or
okay.
near
I was gonna say,
Tampa.
aren't his kids from? Wouldn't his kids be from Massachusetts?
No,
Massachusetts?
Massachusetts?
Massachusetts.
The Boston area? New England?
Massachusetts, yeah.
It's a hard word.
No, I think his kids in like the Florida area, I believe, and that's why he wanted to go there to be closer to his kid.
What's wrong with the other wife?
Giselle's going with him, obviously.
I was gonna say he had a first wife. What's wrong with her?
Fucking
He
Wheels
met
is on
Giselle.
a first name basis, man.
He met Giselle. She's not Giselle.
That's literally what happened. That's actually what happened. He met Giselle and he like cheated on his wife.
Talks about Tom Brady and his family and his wife like we're all supposed to already know like these facts. Yeah, Giselle, she's going with him. Like, who the fuck is Giselle, Justin? Okay, we don't all know that that's Tom Brady.
Oh, you know that's his wife.
You don't know who Giselle Bundchen is? Come on.
You
No,
all know
honestly,
that
I
clip
fucking
of her berating like the media after. I
Yeah.
think what did they lose? Like a Super Bowl or something? She's
Yeah.
like, "What's he supposed to do? Catch the ball in front, same time?"
Yeah. She
Really?
went off.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, dude, look that clip up. Like Giselle
It's
was
awesome.
not having the media
Oh, yeah.
scrum after a
No.
Super Bowl.
No.
Now, I read this today, and it might be bullshit. It was just on Twitter. So, I read Gronk's going to come out of retirement to play.
Gronk is in the WWE now.
He
Yeah,
just
dude.
won a
He
title at
is the
WrestleMania.
24/7 champion.
He's a champion
Fucking
in wrestling.
Gronkowski. Yeah.
What? Holy man, I did not
Dude.
see that one coming.
At
Dude,
no
do you
audience
ever Twitter?
WrestleMania.
Yeah, but I don't have like wrestling or football on my Twitter, really.
Dude, that's last Sunday with WrestleMania was the first night in like a month and a half where all the trends on Twitter weren't fucking COVID. It was like the top trend was WrestleMania. I was like, oh, that's nice. And then, like trend 2 is like, people are dying still. And you're like, oh.
Gronk,
WrestleMania's on. Yay.
the football player
Ron Gronkowski.
went to the WWE
He signed a contract.
for
I'm sure it's probably like 2 or 3 year contract.
okay, but like, does he have any experience wrestling? Like,
He's fucking Ron Gronkowski.
he played football doesn't mean he's a good. Like, there's a wrestling. There's a lot.
Dude, they're all football players. Goldberg played
You know
football.
that
The Rock
professional
played
wrestling
football.
is
right?
like.
Yeah,
You know,
but
professional wrestling is
One-
like settled or whatever, right?
yeah, but like, you got to be a tremendous athlete to do it, and you got to
He's
know how
Rob
to take.
Gronkowski.
Yeah,
he
but
can be bombed and
athlete.
still win the Super Bowl.
you gotta know how to take the hits and take the falls and all that, or you're both.
He
gonna
plays
Of course he
football.
does. He's a tight end. Of course he knows how to take bumps.
Do you even know what football
Jesus
is?
Christ.
Well, it's a little bit
It's
different.
his job to get
tackle
dry
than
bumped
it is
for like 60
getting
minutes.
fucking elbow drop from the fucking corner, like off the
Is
rope.
it though?
There's some similarities there, buddy.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched an NFL football game?
Yeah, and then no.
I'm pretty sure
does
you've
anyone
been
get
here to watch
suplexed.
Super Bowl like 4 times.
There he is. There he is in the ring.
Wow. Yeah. At no point does anyone get suplexed in football.
Dude, have you played
What?
NFL Blitz?
Yeah, we talked about this.
Is Gronk in NFL Blitz?
Oh, but he fucking should be the forerunner of the new Midway release. Or THQ Nordic, I guess, would be the company to do that.
And I'm positive there's video of NFL players doing suplexes.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I
Absolutely.
don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, define suplexes. I've seen some guys get like belly to belly suplex.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
Of
With
course.
DDTs, you know.
Fucking like
I don't know. I just think that
dropped.
any
Watch the highlight. Go ahead.
any professional wrestler, if you just said anybody could like, oh, if he plays football, he should be able to do.
No,
These guys have been
no,
like
no, no,
wrestling
no,
for like
no.
5 years, or like practicing for like. Isn't there like a farm team, like farm league for?
Well, there is, but I mean, you have to figure, like, obviously they approach him. You have to figure it's Gronk. He's
Yeah.
going to get excited about it as he does. He's like a little kid.
Yeah.
He gets very excited. You don't think he's like, buying a fucking ring and putting it like in his garage and fucking like
learning.
I can fucking do a fucking. Of course, sure,
Yeah,
why
like-
not?
Like hiring Triple H to come down and show him what's up.
Why not, man?
Yep.
If
Hey,
you're
man,
gonna
just
sign, I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
If anyone can afford to pay a WWE superstar for one-on-one training, it's a football player.
Yeah.
So
yeah, fuck yeah.
you know, why not?
Also, you have the advantage of being like a big superstar name. So whether you can wrestle or not, Vince McMahon is gonna.
I guess, and it's-
you're gonna have a job. You have a job with Vince
it's a
McMahon.
huge entertainment business. But
Of
I just
course,
mean
it's
like
a variety show.
it's like saying like, oh, he's good at hockey. He's probably going to be great at football. You know, something like that.
No,
Like,
it's different with wrestling because you want
Very.
eyes on the product. So Rod is okay. I'm sorry. Is it Rod or Ron?
Ron.
Ron.
Rob.
Rob. Okay,
we
Rob.
all said a different R name there.
Yeah.
It's Rob.
So
that's wow.
if
It's Ron.
you bring in Rob Gronkowski, people who watch Monday Night Football but don't watch Monday Night Raw might be like, "Oh shit, Gronk's fucking doing that fucking Hulk Hogan shit." Yeah, I'll fucking tune in.
yeah.
You know,
Right? And like realistically, if he can read a crowd and perform and do the moves, then like that's all you gotta do. Like as long as he can read a crowd, really. If he knows how to like put on a show and be a spectacle, take a hit and do the move safe, you know, like
that guy's got so much charisma, he doesn't even know what to do with it.
Exactly, man.
So
That guy's a celebrity outside of football already. Like
Hulk Hogan is not a good wrestler, but he was like the most popular professional
right,
wrestler
because he had
for like
it,
20 years.
you know?
Yeah.
Pizzazz.
Yeah.
dude, right? Like I watched like one of those hot wing shows, you know, where they eat progressively hotter hot wings with Stone Cold last night, and it was fucking awesome.
my god!
Just listening to him talking about the show and how like you read the crowd, you read the audience, you know, like how you work with people and you've got like code words and shit. It's super cool learning like kind of the ins and outs of that stuff. And as long as you're willing to do that and pay attention and you know.
Yeah, because like
Absolutely.
that don't they have like a set winner, but they don't, and they have like a rough idea of what the hell's going to go down in the fight, but they don't. It's not all orchestrated. Like there's a lot of just like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Like they whisper, like, you know, I'm gonna throw you over the shoulder, then you come back and you know.
So I'll give you two examples. Okay, the first one is Ricky Steamboat versus the Macho Man from WrestleMania 3. A lot of wrestling fans know this match. So that match was meticulously planned out, point for point for point.
Macho Man was known to do that.
Yeah, Macho Man planned that out like to the T.
Yeah.
Then you go to Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair. They were just like, they knew the finish, and that was it. So, you know, I mean, it can go either way. But yeah, no, you absolutely know who's going to win. But I mean, fuck, dude.
Yeah, like there's a
Getting
lot.
slammed on your back on fucking wood is going to hurt your back.
Yeah. And like all the shit. That's
Yeah, but it's
gone down.
probably just as painful as like getting your back slammed onto like AstroTurf 25 times.
Sure, absolutely.
We played contact football in school without pads during recess and shit, and like, man, yeah, that shit hurts. Like,
look at Hulk Hogan. He walks like fucking Frankenstein because he dropped the fucking he did a leg drop for like fucking 30 years. And he's even said that's like the worst decision he ever made was having my finish be a leg drop because now
you're
the
landing
fucking
on your
guy can barely walk. He doesn't walk, he lumbers. There's no knee bending for him. Yeah,
250 pounds of boom, boom every night.
Dude.
That one match where like doesn't it like Undertaker throws Mankind like and he goes like way too like he wasn't supposed to go through the cage and all this like and like where he climbs, doesn't he go through it like he gets thrown off and he goes through a table too?
Yeah,
like the
he almost fucking died on that one.
Yeah,
he almost
but that was like
that one.
That was ad-libbing. Like that was like Mick Foley just being like, yeah.
No, okay, so they knew Yeah, they knew that they were. The plan was to throw him off of the cage through the table.
Yeah,
they did not plan to go through the fucking roof of the cage.
Yeah.
That was
why that match even continued after fucking the first fall is like ridiculous.
That's amazing. He's still like alive and kicking.
Match, though. That was so intense. Mick Foley's a badass, though. That guy cannot be killed.
That's that you still talk about that like years. Like it'll be talked about forever. Because of like
that happened in 1998, and here we are in
Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
fuck yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, man. That's when I was watching that shit all the time.
Yeah,
the late '90s, like all about it. Fuck yeah. Dude, and the Undertaker was awesome as well, man. That guy is broken to shit. I can't believe he was still wrestling like last year.
So go try to find the Boneyard match from this year's
Boneyard
WrestleMania.
match is rad.
Dude, it was like a scene out of Sons of Anarchy. And
Yeah.
you got, with this match, Justin specifically, you got 5 years out of The Undertaker.
Absolutely.
If he does every match like that from now on,
Absolutely.
holy shit, buddy. I loved that.
Wait,
Was
he's
like,
still wrestling?
dude,
Yes.
it was like a fucking, it's hard to explain. Like, you have
really
to watch
hard.
it. It's shot like a movie. It's shot like a movie.
The guy who I guess like came up with the concept is he described it as like cinematic wrestling. So it's basically
Boneyard?
wrestling. Yeah, it's called the Boneyard match.
If I find it on one of my
it's
streaming things,
basically-
I'll
but
shoot you the link. Like,
He described it as cinematic wrestling, and it's shot to look like a movie or a TV show. So
Yeah.
you can cut around all the deficiencies that
like
you
it probably
wouldn't
took them like a
they
day or
wouldn't be
two
able
to
to
shoot
around
that.
a crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do cuts and you can do special effects.
Yeah,
You can do like editing and music. You can add. It's awesome.
dude, they had a tractor. They had fucking like
They buried somebody alive.
it was like a dude got buried alive. Like it was fucking ridiculous. It was
there
so.
was
but it
there
was
was
great,
like there was like magic druids that came out of nowhere.
because like these last 5 years of Undertaker matches, like a WrestleMania, I'm just like, I don't fucking give a shit. Like it takes
I
me
love the
a year
Undertaker.
to walk
And I
down
was
the
like,
aisle.
ouch. Yeah.
He can't throw punches. He's all like arthritic and shit.
Yeah.
And he just looks. It's like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
But this, I was like, I walked away from that. I was like, I want to see more Undertaker like this. Like
Yeah.
that was fucking awesome. WrestleMania 36 was a hit for me.
It was I was really, really impressed, and I thought I was gonna be off wrestling forever after WrestleMania 36.
Whoa, are you pouring more Pink Whitney?
Uh,
You're a fucking
guilty.
animal. You're a fucking
Sure,
animal.
why not?
I
All right, I'm on it. Just give me a sec.
All right.
Okay, really far away, Sid.
Yeah, well, sorry.
What else did you guys get up to this week? You guys, we heard about Tyson and his job. What did you guys get up to this week? Either way.
Nothing much really. I mean, I'm still nursing the ribs, and with the way everything's looking, like it looks like it's going to be a while before I get back into the workforce. So I'm Mr. Mom.
Is that because of the ribs or because of?
It's because of the ribs, and because I like the initial injury, I did do damage to my lung, which is why I was in the hospital for so long. So it does put me at like a higher risk. So with the way the circumstances are right now, it's just like it's been worked out that it's better for me to be resting up. So yeah, we did some cleaning today. We did some laundry, and Mr. Mom, dude.
Fancy. Tommy must be enjoying that. Tommy must be liking that.
I don't know, man. You'd have to ask him. I think he's had a little bit too much of me.
Are you the one
bit too
doing
much
that?
He's had enough.
Are you the
Daniel's
one
is
doing
tough all
the arts
day,
and
every day.
crafts?
Why are you here? Don't fucking
Where's Mommy?
commute. Get out of here.
Where's Mummy? Mummy went to work. But why?
But why?
Well,
Yeah.
because. And I'm here now. Oh.
Yeah, the question phase has definitely started. Like, why? Well, what's that? Well, why? And you're just like,
Because I fucking told you.
Why?
Because I said so.
he's on the box. Damn it.
I don't have time for this.
Are you guys ready to do this? Wheels, are you just going to drink it out of the bottle like a savage?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
Shit, man. There we
Yeah.
go.
Woo!
All right. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers, motherfuckers.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, boys. Well, I myself have been back to work, kind of.
Oh, were you? That's awesome.
A little bit of side work, kind of. Just kind of got a quarantined area, and lots and lots of sanitary stuff. Like I carry stuff on me. We wipe down tools after we use them. We don't work right near each other unless we have to. And even then, like if one of us isn't following precautions, like we do health checks and talk about it every day. And we're like 9 to 4 kind of things.
All right.
It's nothing too major.
No.
Like we got big jobs coming up, which we gotta be able to do unless things get worse. But luckily, it's an outside job, and it'll probably just be 2 of us again. So
Yeah.
like working with one person who's staying at home and not going out and doing shit is like, okay, as long as we're both honest with each other, it's all right, right?
Yeah, you're pretty safe as long as like you're
we're
both pretty careful.
Yeah, and we're working in a place where like the area that we're working has been quarantined. It's taped off. No one in or out of that area. We've got a staging area that nobody goes near.
Is it just
so
you and the
we're
boss?
taking it careful. No,
Just
it's
you?
me and my buddy Aiden.
Fucking Aiden.
Yeah.
Fucking guy.
Fucking hate.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I was looking forward to this 4 days here to play Final Fantasy VII. But
Tough shit, bud.
Yeah.
Are we ripping the Band-Aid off? Is that what we're doing?
It's
It's
not
already up.
essential.
No, man.
That is not essential for you.
Did you get your digital? You don't get a digital copy even?
No, I want a hard copy of that with the art book and shit. And
No,
it's
I
like
understand
now
that,
it's like
but-
2 weeks out, so I'm like, do I just buy a digital copy?
Oh,
and
you
then
didn't.
sell
Oh,
my
you didn't
hard
actually
copy?
buy a digital copy. I thought you.
No,
bought
I want a
both.
hard copy.
Yeah,
Well,
you gotta have
I
a
know
hard
that.
copy of
I know
that.
Final
that,
Fantasy
but-
7, man.
I know that, but I thought you bought both because you didn't want to wait and you wanted to play it
Oh, I'm
immediately.
tempted all day. I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order, but it's just not scratching the itch.
Did
Jedi
you?
Fallen
Fucking
Order's
good
rad.
game though. That
It's
is a
rad.
really good game.
It is solid. I'm really enjoying it, but I
Yeah.
just want to be Cloud Strife, and I want to use fucking
Yeah.
materia. I want to fuck shit up. Fuck Shinra.
Dude, do you remember the
Sure.
time that I ordered LA Noir online and then it was like 2007 or 8 or whenever the hell it came out? So like it wasn't like now where you'd get it in a few days. It was like going to take a couple weeks and then it came
Yep.
out and I'm like, oh, I don't want to wait. Let's go to Hinton.
Yeah,
And we drove to Hinton, got a flat tire. It ended up being kind of an ordeal.
it was a good adventure. Shannon and I called Walmart, and it's like, oh, okay, you can order online and get store pickup. Calling the store, and they're like, we're not getting physical copies of anything new in, and we're just like, damn it, because we were just going to drive to Hinton and buy it,
Yeah.
and then I could like sell the copy to Tyson or just sell the copy.
Yeah, you could have.
period.
Because I want to
Right.
buy the deluxe edition with the art book and everything.
Yeah,
But I also want to wait for reviews because I played the demo and I didn't really like it as much as I thought because
You
of,
did like? See, I loved it. and
it
I
was
was
it
big
was
on
okay.
Final
It was
Fantasy.
okay, man. Like I have to say, it was all right. But like,
nothing but good things, nothing but praise, man. And don't watch any videos though.
no, I'm
They-
not. No,
They spoil, like there's Square's trailer that came out 2 days ago or 3 days ago, spoiled so many story changes.
Yeah,
it,
okay,
it
yeah, I
basically
won't
just
be
gave
going
away the
near
game.
it.
And
I won't-
like there was outrage on Twitter, and I'm like, thank God I was on Twitter before I was on YouTube.
yeah, I
And
wouldn't be
saw that
anywhere
it's a
near it.
spoiler
Like,
fest.
I really like the turn-based combat, and it's I thought that you could choose which one you want.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little more Crisis Core, but Crisis Core was dope, so it's
And
not gonna be that bad.
I did play Crisis Core, and I finished Crisis Core, and I like Crisis Core. So
Dude, I crushed out my platinum trophy in Resident Evil 3 in preparation of having Final Fantasy 7 because I'm like, I'm not going to pick up Resident Evil 3 again. So I platinumed it. I got all the goddamn trophies, beat it, unlocked everything on all the hard difficulties and all that shit the day before Final Fantasy 7 was supposed to get here.
holy shit! So you
Dude,
beat
yeah.
that in like 3 days, 4 days?
6. It took me
Okay.
6 days to platinum. It's
Fucking-
it's pretty
still
easy
pretty
compared to Resident Evil 2, but
Still pretty impressive, man.
and that was working. I was working.
Yeah. So you were like work, home, and then you only stopped playing Resident Evil for long enough to eat and shit and sleep.
Dude, I could speed that. My best time on that was an hour and 4 minutes, albeit that's with like an unlimited rocket launcher and shit like that because I unlocked it.
Whoa.
It's a short game. It's an awesome game. It's not a great remake. It's a fun Resident Evil game though.
Oh fuck! What more could you ask for? I guess. Like,
I don't know, a more faithful remake.
okay. Well, I guess then you could ask for something.
So
Yeah,
you're
but I'm
talking
not-
about Resident Evil 3, correct?
Yeah. It's
And-
fun. It's super fun. It's really pretty. That Reach for the Moon engine is beautiful.
Does it
It's
have
not-
tank controls?
No, it's a third person. Like it's actiony as heck.
Yeah. Well, so was the originals, but they had tank controls.
Dude, I should lend you Resident Evil 2. It's you'll be like, holy crap, this is a Resident Evil game now.
Okay.
What are tank
I-
controls?
That's what we were
Up is
talking
always
about.
Forwards,
Yeah, like up is forward no matter what direction you're facing.
Okay.
which I
is
am
annoying
not
a
that
little bit.
impartial to. That's just
I didn't like it a whole bunch.
dude. With any sort of camera changing shit, if up changes, and you're running through a room, and then all of a sudden you're running backwards. It's awful.
Yeah.
Upping forwards makes sense with shifting angles.
You know what? Resident Evil 2 is on sale on Steam, and I think it's like $20 or something. Like,
Oh yeah, I
pretty
think
cheap.
it's that on PS4 right now.
Yeah,
as well.
it is.
Dude,
Like,
it's worth getting, and if you get it on Steam, that's sick because the mods on there are hilarious.
I looked at it a bit, but I've been playing a lot of like N64, Atari, that like I've been playing a lot of emulated games that I used to own.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because after the conversation last week about Atari and Nintendo, right?
Did you play artillery or?
Dude, I did play a little bit of artillery.
Wicked.
Yeah, I did play a little bit of it, but I was like, it's pretty good. But I think it is a lot like that Scorched Earth game.
Yeah,
I think Scorched Earth is just like the updated same game.
Yeah. Like I've played it. It's fun. Like you use you get the angle and then boom and. Yeah, and then what else was I playing? There was some really good one in there. It's called Hero, like HERO. It's all got like periods and it's all capital letters. And it's like you have a helicopter backpack and it's on a fucking Atari, which is pretty incredible. And you're going into a cave trying to rescue people and you have dynamite and you're just blowing up walls and I played
this. Sorry.
No, it's like I played like a little bit of that and it was a lot of fun.
What did you play on the N64?
I played Goldeneye, of course, and it is fucking. I don't know. It's like it's not aged as good as
The controls suck. The
controls are really hard to because I'm so used to having like the
twin
two,
stick, man.
Yeah, the twin sticks, where like one is strafe and walk and one is look, and I keep trying to do that, but the one stick is look and walk, and it's really hard to get. Because I was trying to shoot a guy that was like up in a tower, and I'm like, how the fuck do I look up there? Like because the whole thing is the whole Goldeneye is on auto aim. So like when you get close to someone, the gun just automatically and you just got to shoot.
I hate auto aiming games.
Yeah, it's like at the time it was probably really good, but yeah, I just like I could remember most of it. Like when I was running through the facility where you have to blow up all the bottles, I just went to the wrong room, and I was like, oh fuck, there's something I have to do in here, but I don't remember. And then it's hard when you're playing the old games and you have like a deja vu moment, but you don't remember why.
Yeah.
You don't remember why the hell you're supposed to be in that room. But yeah, it was pretty fun. And then I also played a little bit of Star Fox. Which is awesome. Like, fuck, that game is so good.
Star Fox 64? Because I liked it on the SNES because it was like groundbreaking 3D models.
Yeah. No,
it looks so blocky on like.
It does.
It's so incredible for the time. It's like, whoa, this is 16-bit? Holy fuck.
Yeah, I remember when that game came out. It was like, move.
Yeah, no, I like it, but 64 is good. Like it's actually really good, and if you like those kind of games, I suppose. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games from my youth.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, and I've been doing a lot of Ninja Turtles with my son because we went and got all of my old Ninja Turtles and. Now
it's sick that your folks held on to that. I remember your mom
that's really
threw them out years ago.
Oh yeah,
being like, "No, mom, you can't throw those out."
Yeah, like, there's no way. I need those. And now,
no, you have to keep that shit. Like, I got boxes of Tommy's. We when we went back to Toronto for Tommy's second birthday, we stayed at a family friend's place that been friends since I was like a baby, and. Just all those old toys were still there in the fucking basement, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here!
so
like pushing Katie away. I'm like, my childhood. you have to hold on to that shit, man.
Yeah, I'm so glad I did because and it's a fucking mess. Like it's a fucking disaster.
I want to break quarantine to fucking come over to your place and play Ninja Turtles.
It's fucking cool, man.
Right?
Like
I would leave Tommy unattended to come over there and enjoy those toys.
The problem is like whenever the fuck I stopped playing with them and my parents were just like, what the fuck is all this shit, and they just put it all away. It ended up that like everything was just a fucking disaster. There's like shit everywhere, and I'm piecing together all like, okay, here's the figure, here's the weapons, here's all the shit for it, and
That's awesome.
You know,
I wish I had my like GI Joes and stuff from when I was a kid. Like I wish I had that shit.
Oh man, me too, man. I wish I had all this shit from my childhood. Like I had GI Joes and Hot Wheels and like model cars and stuff too. Fuck yeah, right?
Fuck
like
yeah.
I wish that shit was still around. It's awesome.
Yeah, I
Be
still
able to,
have.
like dive back, especially now that the two of you both got like young boys too. Like
Yeah,
it's so easy to go, hey, these are the toys I played with as a kid. Aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
yeah.
Maybe
It's like
minus the profanity.
it's like Christmas for him. He's just like, and now he's like, I want to watch. I showed him the TV show. I haven't watched that show since, and I'm talking about like the 1990s.
Oh, with like
cartoon.
Krang and shit.
Yeah, and I haven't watched that shit since I was like 6 or 7 years old. So now
Is that
I'm
show
like,
on like streaming any services?
no, but you can buy it on iTunes, and there's actually the first
Oh, yeah,
three
okay.
episodes on YouTube. You can watch
yeah.
3 episodes on YouTube, and that's it. So I bought the first season for like 99 cents or $3.99 or something.
My brother got Tommy for his birthday. Is like a season of GI Joe.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And he
cool.
just fucking went ballistic. Like,
Is it like mostly kid friendly? Like it's a cartoon, right? Like
oh, I mean, define kid friendly
Yeah,
from like
okay.
back in like the 80s, 90s,
yeah,
right?
okay. So like people are getting shot
what was
and
kid
stuff,
friendly then is probably
Not kid
no, but
friendly.
I mean, it's cartoon. You know, people are shooting guns, but you know, you're like fuck Cobra Commander. Like, see, that's a
Yeah.
bad guy. You know,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
trust
yeah.
people with hoods on their head.
See, Bruce has been big into like that's the bad guy, and like let's
Yeah.
make him
Yeah, yeah.
dead, and I'm like, whoa, fuck. And
Would
It's when
Inga
they
let
say
him watch
It's when
Hot
they
Wheels?
say that.
yeah, you're like woo. Ooh. So you're trying to like, you know, it's a fine line because Inga's
You have
really
to make
like,
sure that you're explaining like this is a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's
not
not
real.
real. Do not do this
Yeah.
because it's you got to be. That's where being
Yeah.
a bad cop comes in handy because
yeah,
you hey,
you lay it down. You lay it down. Don't
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
and they'll be
And, you
like,
know,
oh
And you make sure, like, yeah, it's not real. Like, Ninja Turtles are not real. And
Yeah.
when you see them on, like, I showed them a
and
little
that's
bit of like,
easy. It's like, dude, they're turtles. So, like,
Yeah.
no turtle does this.
but
Like,
then you see like the movie. I showed them like a picture of like the Jim Henson puppets Ninja Turtles, like
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
movie, standing next to
Yeah.
real people. And I was like, look, it's just people in costumes. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, they're not real, but they're fun
Yeah.
toys. And you know, it's all a storybook that somebody wrote and somebody drew pictures. And
don't do this unless you're with at least 2 other people that consent to
Yeah.
doing it.
or if you're a ninja or something, you have fucking
Yeah,
swords
yeah.
and sais and fucking nunchucks.
Yeah, just like
wanna
the
go
South Park episode where they all got ninja toys. You don't want little Bruce
Yeah,
running around with throwing
that's like
stars.
the worst case fucking scenario. And that is an excellent episode of South Park.
It is so
One of
good.
my top shows, man. Like they just do stuff so good. Like Butters has the fucking throwing star in his eye, and all the kids are not worried about Butters at all. They're just worried about if they're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, they're gonna
They
get their
lock
toys
him in
taken away.
that. They lock him in like a freezer or something, and
Poor Professor Chaos.
oh man, he just got this fucking throwing star in his eye for like 2 hours, and like no one seems to really care too much. You know?
Nobody wants their kid to be Butters. I'll tell you
Yeah, I
that.
tell you that. Fuck. But yeah, man, like it's fun, man. I'm just playing with all my old toys, and like I'm trying to organize them all and figure out what the hell I have. I have like a big box of just figures, and then I have like 3 boxes of just like, you know, in the 80s, all the toys were just plastic weapons that you just stuck on.
Oh
and,
yeah, absolutely.
and I got
They'll
They
have
didn't
the
fit,
grip,
you
the
just
kung
kind of go
fu grip.
clunk it in
yeah, you
there.
just kind of jammed them in
Yeah.
there. And I have like 2 boxes of just random shit, and I don't know what character they're for. I don't know what ship they're for. I have no fucking clue. So I'm looking up every figure on the internet and looking at the box that
Oh,
they came
man.
in. Like they got pictures everywhere. I mean,
That's got to be super fun though, just like kind of like piecemealing all your characters
Yeah,
together and like finding like
until
treasures
you-
that you don't remember
Until
you have.
like the gun doesn't fit in any hands, and you're like,
you guys
I
on
don't
the
even know what
you
this
guys
is
on the
from.
pod can't see it, but like fuck, like
Oh, cool!
"That's
You gotta
sick."
post that.
It's
You
a
gotta post
giant
that.
chest of toys.
yeah, you know
Yeah,
what? Sid,
send me a
I'll
picture.
send
I
you a
never
picture
got those
for the
pictures from
Insta.
you there, Eric.
What's that?
Tommy's art.
Oh,
yeah, that's
come
right.
on!
Oh man, you know what? I actually have some old fact checks to get to a little later, so that's a good jog of my memory. I'm going to write that down. Post pictures of Tommy's wonderful art.
Yeah, we do have to see that because it would be nice to see it because when I was kind of relisting and editing that episode, I was like, oh, it'd be nice to see those.
Yeah. No, I listened to it the other day and was like, oh yeah, damn dog.
Tommy Art.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
I'm gonna go back and look at this and be like, who the fuck is Tommy Art?
Yeah.
I don't know a Tommy Art.
So, how long ago did you guys watch? And I'm just assuming that all of you have because you grew up in the same time as I did. You guys watched the Ninja Turtle movies, like the original from like 1990, 1992, and so on.
I was 25.
3 years ago, probably.
Yeah, okay.
It's been
The
a
first
while.
time?
It's been a long time.
No, like
the first one is got some pretty adult themes, like when Donatello's hurt and recuperating in the tub.
Yeah.
Donatello,
yeah,
no, not Donatello.
Raphael.
Raphael,
He
yeah.
gets his ass kicked on the roof.
Yeah, no, the
Like a
first
house
one's
burns
it's a
down
little
and-
more. Yeah, it's a little more adult.
The first
dude,
one's
the
actually a
second one's
genuinely
little-
good movie,
It's
I think.
fucking really good.
The second one gets a little campier with like the ooze and like
Yeah.
Rocksteady and Bebop coming into it, but those monsters would probably scare the shit out of Bruce, man. Like,
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
I
for sure.
think
I
he should
think so.
probably be like 2 years older before you show
Oh
him.
yeah, no, I told him he can watch the movies when he's 7.
Even the Foot Clan is kind of like. Yeah.
But I went to like the original 1990 one with my dad, and when we got out of that movie, he was just like, "Oh, son, like
Yeah.
that movie was not what I thought it was going to be. We really have to go." And like I thought you watch this cartoon every day. I don't know what this is, and so he leaves there. He's like, don't tell your mom what that was. Don't you tell your mom. And so I did not tell my mom until you.
I don't recommend them, but do you think Bruce would be able to watch the what's up? You think Bruce would be able to watch the Michael Bay Ninja Turtle movies? Like the ones they just
you know what?
recently-
I don't
Don't
even
ruin
want to
it. Don't
expose him
ruin
to
it.
Were
that.
those
garbage.
Michael Bay movies?
Yeah.
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 Oh, I knew there was a reason I didn't watch those.
Holy
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
bad.
That's
They're
They're
right.
so
bad.
bad. Like
Frog!
the trailer when I watched the trailer for the very first reboot, and then like Leonardo does this fucking flip, and he looks pretty fucking badass, but then he's like fucking 8 feet tall. The Ninja Turtles are like
Yeah.
5 feet tall.
Yeah,
it says
I
right
watched.
in their, it says right in
No,
the
go ahead.
bio.
Yeah, I watched
They're-
that and was just thoroughly disappointed. I was like, this isn't the Turtles.
Yeah, no, like that was
Where's
like
the
one.
TURTLE power, yo?
Yeah, that was a giant Megan Fox. Look at her ass. Movie.
Of course
That's
it is.
all
She's
was.
not even that hot with her toe thumbs.
You can't see her toe thumbs in the movie.
Who knows about
Hey,
her
just-
toe thumb?
Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not there, guy.
You had to research toe thumbs to know that she had toe thumbs.
No, I didn't. Thumbs look like toes. They're toe thumbs, yo.
I would never have noticed her toe thumbs until
Yeah,
you
well,
brought it up.
I did.
Well, maybe if you were staring at something else besides
Maybe if you were
Maybe-
looking at her hands.
Literally
her
everything
eyes.
else.
Her toe
chest
thumbs?
thumbs.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, like
It
those
was like
movies are
Megan
shit.
Fox has a face? What?
Lies.
Nice.
Oh,
I just saw
Megan
like
Fox,
legs and ass and a
of course.
motorcycle. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
I'm not used to seeing her without logging in first. That's what it was.
How many Zeds and Brazzers? I can't remember.
Enough to make any girl suspicious on the credit card bill,
That's
I think.
true. Like, fuck, there's way too many Zeds in that fucking credit card bill.
Why are you buying braziers?
Yeah, Brazzers.
Oh man.
Yeah, that movie. Those movies are right shit.
Yeah, they're
They're-
terrible.
I don't
was
call
super
those
shit.
Ninja Turtle movies at all. I'd say I wish they'd reboot them, and but I just don't want them to do it again. Like, but it's hard. You can't end on that.
They made a computer animated movie, I think, in like 2007.
Which I heard
that was
was
also
good.
terrible.
Oh, I
I
know.
didn't
Justin,
like it.
can
I
I
actually
say-
didn't mind it.
Can I say this is why I'm the Godfather and you're not? Because you suggested those fucking Michael Bay movies.
Well, I suggest,
Why
Why
would
would
that is why
anyone
you are not the
suggest a
Godfather.
Michael Bay movie?
You know,
I
what?
was suggesting them for Bruce. He's not.
And that
gonna
is why
get-
you're not his Godfather.
Oh, that's what.
You're
That's
gonna
what we're doing.
confuse
That's what
him.
we're doing.
You're gonna confuse the child.
what's Ninja Turtles and what isn't? I'm like, those aren't Ninja Turtles.
No, this is Ninja Tortoises for sure.
And
They're
for the
samurai
record-
tortoises.
For the record, if we ever had a second kid, we were gonna make Justin the Godfather. Just for the
Whoa,
record.
you got to
There
do
was bright colors.
Just
There
gotta
was
learn.
explosions. I think Bruce would have been able to
Fucking
watch those and not be
Alarm
scared.
clock, fucking dubstep shit music. Fuck.
Oh.
You know what? The music.
You're not going to be able to hide him from that. He's going to hear that shit eventually.
No. That'll be
Not
fucking,
necessarily.
that'll be oldies by the time he's fucking a teenager.
You show him the originals, and he'll never want to. He won't even care about the other.
Those original movies 1 and 2 were good. 3 was meh.
Yeah,
I'd watch it again because nostalgia.
Turtles in Time. It's like Raphael.
Yeah. It's like they go back to like the samurai days.
The only cool thing about
like
that is their subway hideout. Because, man, when I was a kid, I wanted to live there so bad. Eat pizza and live in the subway.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, too, because the concept of that third movie is, like, amazing. Like, the Ninja Turtles in Samurai Time.
Yeah, but time travel was a big thing, it seemed, for, like, the third movie in trilogies. Like, Back to the Future. Let's go to the Old West.
Like, I understand, like, they'd already exercised, like, the whole Shredder storyline. Like, they'd use it already. And
I don't think there's another bad guy in any of the turtle mythos.
No, like there's
another
many
bad guy leader.
Like, especially in like 1993 or 94, whenever Turtles 3 came out, like
the big mosquito dude.
The cartoon was already like in its like 8th.
Yeah, but you couldn't do Krang in a live action movie.
Yeah, I know, not in the 90s. You could now.
Like,
I'm trying to think even now if they did a gritty movie with Krang.
They might have done that in the latest Michael Bay movie. I can't remember.
Who is the director who did like the Star Trek movies?
J.J. Abrams.
He could pull that shit off.
Well, he's got a pretty diverse repertoire. He did like Joyride as well, and
did
he? Yeah, he did. I just learned that because Shannon's playing Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, awesome! Cool.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, he did Joyride? Shit, I like that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie too. That's awesome. I didn't know he did that either. That's awesome.
Yeah, he did it and he did Super 8. Like, he's got a diverse portfolio. He could probably do a decent Turtles movie.
And Krang,
maybe get Joss Whedon to write it.
For some reason, I think they did Krang in this, like the one I didn't see.
They did Krang.
I just can't imagine it. Like, I'm just trying to picture it being like true to the original Krang, and I'm just like, I'm having a hard time taking it seriously as a bad guy.
Because it's the new movies, and like, I can't take the Turtles seriously.
Could either The Rock or Batista play the big dude that Krang
Sheamus was Rocksteady.
Sheamus was Rocksteady. So could we keep it WWE?
Absolutely.
Could John Cena? Could John Cena be the big muscly dude? It would have to be a wrestler.
No.
John Cena could be the Shredder.
So the big, like, Krang's body is like this bald guy. Big Show.
He's not muscly. He's not muscly.
You gotta have a guy that's like,
you give Big Show fucking 8 months to get in shape.
8 months?
He could probably do that. He could probably do it.
Big Show.
It's tough, dude. When you're like super gigantic. Like, what about just not being a white guy? Get like Big Bob Sapp or something.
You know what? Big Show could walk a fine line between cutting and bulking just by like cutting like 4,000 calories out of his diet. You know,
dude. Or there's heaps of like. I can't remember. There's another big, huge black dude who's just like ridiculously huge. I can't remember what the hell.
Terry Crews?
Terrible. No. It's different. This guy's like bulky. He's like a goddamn fucking. I don't know, a mountain.
I know you're.
What about Bjorn? Whatever the hell.
What about the mountain?
Bjornsson.
Bjornsson.
Yeah.
The mountain.
The world's strongest man. He'd be good. He's like 6'7" and 360 pounds of fucking scary.
Yep.
8,000 calories a day just for maintenance.
The Big Show needs to eat that much, or he'll die.
Just for maintenance.
just to maintain his body.
He just needs that to live.
Yeah, that's what he needs to live.
Dude, okay, you know who could do a good movie with Krang as the bad guy is David Lynch.
What did he do? What has he done?
If you want to give your kids nightmares, make David Lynch do that movie.
Twin Peaks, Buddy Racerhead. I just think of the little baby, deformed baby that the guy brings home.
Holy fuck! Okay.
Oh yeah, no, David Lynch is weird shit.
I want the guy making the movie with Krang and like Dimension X. Is the same guy that directed the first movie, because the whole tone of that first movie was so good.
It's serious too. There's like a bit of comedy, movie. But it's serious. Like there's
serious. There's fucking crime. There's a whole clan of fucking criminals, organized by, and like Shredder's recruiting teenagers and like giving them cigarettes and booze and like video games and skateboards and shit. All the stuff 90s kids loved.
Yeah, but he's getting them off the street and he's getting them.
He's
away
giving them
from
a
gangbanging.
This is the kind of themes that movie tackles. Is like, okay, he's giving them a family and a structure and a place to go, but they're fucking criminals now. Like they're stealing shit for that whole and making money for Shredder.
I think the people who worked on that film were definitely influenced by like the original comic run by what's his name, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird.
Yeah, they were
like super dark ones. Remember when we stumbled upon that comic and we're looking at it going, "Fucking the turtles were killing motherfuckers."
Yeah, the turtles in the first comic, they fucking stabbed Shredder like through the heart. In the very first comic, he fucking gets killed by Leonardo.
Yeah, that
he's
came out
not
like
even the main bad guy.
Comic that came out.
Well, he is the main bad guy, but when they wrote the comic, they didn't expect it to be anywhere near as like they didn't even expect those guys thought they spent like $1,000 of their own money. Like they got money from one of their uncles and stuff. And they wrote the comic, they paid themselves to get like 3,000 copies, and they thought, these are gonna sit in our fucking basement forever. And the comic book stores just kept selling out. They just kept selling out. So when they wrote the comic, they weren't writing it for like a lot of comics. They were like, here's it, this is the story. So when then it got just so popular, and then I think how it went was they started making toys, and then they needed a way to advertise the toys, so then they made the cartoon, and that's when it started being for kids. But with the comic is not for kids at all. They're not different colored. They all have red bandanas. They just have different weapons.
Well, when did the first movie come out? Because like the comics started in 84.
1990.
Yeah, 1990 was the movie.
So it was 6 years of. And I wonder what like 88, 89 the comics were like, if they were getting more family friendly.
I don't think they were doing the comics.
I don't think so. The like in like 1988 or 89 is when the cartoon started.
Okay, so that's
somewhere in there.
That was the how we marketed to kids.
So they wanted to
change the media.
Yeah, they wanted to make toys. So they Mattel or whoever the fuck made these toys, and they said, okay, but we need to tell them apart. And someone said, oh yeah, but they have different weapons. And they said, oh no, like they need an easier way. So that's why they gave them all different colors, and it was just arbitrary. Like they just picked.
And that was like the big split between Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman.
It was,
about the cartoon, yeah. Because I can't remember if it was. I'm pretty sure it was Peter Laird. He didn't want to make his creation like for kids, and Kevin Eastman wanted to make lots of money and franchise, and they had the opportunity, and Peter Laird didn't want to do that, and that's kind of how they separated for like a long time.
Franchising was a blessing and a curse, because I'm sure it made them a shit ton of money, but I have Ninja Turtle fucking Kleenex in this fucking box. So
dude,
I mean,
the 80s.
Is it really necessary?
It made Kevin Eastman a lot of money.
Is it really necessary? I busted out. There's a fucking Ninja Turtles hairbrush, a bar soap, and a fucking box of Kleenex.
Oh, dude, they sold everything, man. I remember having like bicycle horns. You could get there was Turtles ones. There was everything. It was the 80s, man. It was like the Reagan era.
I have
you can make money, make money, capital.
Seriously, Ninja Turtles suspenders, a belt, like.
Snap bracelets? Do you guys remember snap bracelets?
Yeah.
Those bracelets were fun, man.
Do.
I'm sure they're making a comeback by now. Just like how regular.
You put an eye out with those fucking things.
Just like how hats, like even if you're looking for to make your own hats online or anything, they call them dad hats. Anything with like a curve that's like a low, like a low profile hat. It's a dad hat. I had the guy who works with us. He's like, yeah, we're wearing dad hats. And I was like, fucking excuse me, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, like a dad hat. It doesn't have a flat brim or nothing. I was like a fucking hat? Like a hat that everybody fucking normal people wear, not you weird fucking kids in your flat brims. And
dude, I have a big head. I like flat brim hats because they don't, crush my glasses. They also sit low enough on my giant bulbous cranium. And the bill is as wide as my head. So,
you know what? It's funny. I was going to refer to your head as a bulbous cranium. It's funny you use those words.
Well, it's been thrown around for the last 20 years or so in my life.
It is a pretty bulbous cranium. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. Yeah, those fucking Ninja Turtles, man, fucking cool. A lot of fun. The second movie was a little more campy, I agree, but it was a lot of fun.
Dude,
They walked that fine line, you know.
The dance scene at the end was a little much. But like them bringing in like, well, it wasn't Bebop and Rocksteady. It was
Taka and Razar.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, Razor, Raza, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Vanilla Ice at the end doing the ninja rap. I mean, it was like it walked that line and then
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
yeah, it was good. Actually, I was listening to the soundtrack today.
Vanilla
and I was,
Ice,
like, rocking out.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Well,
Yeah.
dude, MC Hammer did the credit music for the first movie, right? Like TLE Power. That's fucking MC Hammer.
all those.
That makes sense because I had those tapes. I had
Yeah.
Please Hammer. No. My brother had Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him. And oh my god, look at that. Pink.
Nice.
A pink
The
cassette.
pink cassette it is.
Nice.
Sweet.
Man,
Yeah,
Can I just say something quick? Did you know Peter Laird wrote the Ninja Turtles movies, including 2014's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I
Really?
did not. I thought it was
He's got
Kevin
writing
Eastman.
credit for that. Teenage Mutant
Awesome.
Ninja 3, 2, the Out of the Shadows, a bunch of the cartoons
Wow.
from 2018 to 2019,
Fuck.
2012 to 2017.
Because like a lot of that was disappointing, like massively. Like in the new movies, April used to be the Turtles' caretaker when she was a kid. What the fuck? And then like it's just not how it went down at all. Like it's
Nobody
just not.
nobody wants Megan Fox looking after your kids. Nobody
Like
wants
it's just, and then like I understand the 80s cartoon changed it probably for kids. Like they changed it so that Hamato Yoshi was a human and then he turned into a rat. But in the in the comics
that.
and
Isn't that what happens?
no, in the comics and in the movie,
Like in the comics?
No, in the comics and the movie, Hamato Yoshi is the rat's owner that becomes like the rat becomes Splinter.
Oh
Yeah, the rat just trained following his master.
Yeah,
Right.
Dude, he
right.
also wrote Lego, the Lego movie.
I like that movie.
Sweet. I like that
dude,
movie too.
I know everybody hates that movie, but me.
No,
I think it's a good movie.
I like that movie.
I think it's a good movie.
That's surprising, though. I'm surprised that he wrote that, as he was not the sellout. I guess he just embraced making money.
I thought he was the sellout. My
Was it? Oh, Peter Laird was the sellout. It was
No, I thought Kevin.
Yeah,
Eastman
maybe
was a
okay.
sellout.
So it's maybe Kevin Eastman was.
Hey man, like if you can, I don't know, like if you,
dude, it's hard, right? Like
it's your
hard to make
artistic
pass judgment when you haven't been put in that position to go, hey,
Yeah.
do you want $100,000 paycheck or do you not?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Honestly, yeah, I can't blame the guy at all. If he followed the money train all the way to like with his whole fuck, why do you do the work? Like I understand you have artistic liberties and like your artistic like that's your creation and you want to keep it how you want to keep it, but like I mean they're not asking you to change it that much, I'm sure.
Eastman has writing credits on all those TNT movies as well.
Okay.
And like he wrote Heavy Metal 2000. He was wrote a part of that, and the Toxic Avenger. So Kevin Eastman's way cooler than Peter Laird.
Oh man, yeah, like I don't know. It's fun. It's good for kids. It's good. Like that movie is good for adults. The cartoons are like I'm 4 episodes in with Bruce, and already there's like people from a different dimension, and he's like, "Who are those guys?" And I'm like, "Well, those are the neutrinos and General Crag from Dimension X." And he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, I don't know. You know, like I don't know. I didn't fucking write the show, Bruce.
Oh, you got to provide those answers, man. You got to be on top of that.
Yeah, like. Yeah, it's I've had a lot of fun with them. I'm glad we did it, and I'm sure I'll play Ninja Turtles for like fucking a straight year now.
So yeah, Sid, did you see Harley Quinn season 2?
No, because that TV channel thing that I had on Amazon Prime that let me watch that and Rick and Morty was like $13 a month, and I was just like, for 2 cartoons that come out sporadically, I was enjoying the Harley Quinn cartoon quite a bit because Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And it was just funny because she was just the coarse language, the violence. Bane is fucking hilarious in that.
Bane is the best part of that entire show.
He's such like an honest softie. Also, like, guys, come on. Oh, Daniels did it without us. Yeah, I've done that to you guys. So
sorry.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool. I was thinking about Harley Quinn. There's nothing else on my mind.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Oh yeah, Daniels, just get it in you.
Oh,
Get it in ya.
oh. A fucking bottle of show boys. I'm gonna go broke here.
Yeah, I know, right? They're not cheap. They're not cheap.
Unless the good people at Pink Whitney want to saddle up.
They
Right.
have not responded to my
Well,
requests.
get on the horse, Pink Whitney, because we need you. And you need us.
Once we can be together again, it's gonna be a bottle a week. Though by the time we're done this quarantine, we're all gonna be used to drinking half a bottle each a week.
Yeah.
So,
There's no end to quarantine.
It's gonna be a messy
Quarantine is
situation.
forever.
I wonder, man. We got jobs coming up, and I wonder if it's going to be like Jasper does, like the mandatory 2-month lockdown. Which, if they're going to make a decision about that, they should do it in the next month before people no longer get like the CERB payments. Because if they're going to shut down and then we're not getting money from the government, that's going to be really fun.
Well, but you can just go to EI.
Yeah, but
Once.
still, it's just like I don't know. It would just be better. Yeah, but CERB. People are getting if they don't have the hours for EI, right? Like Shannon's having a bitch of a time because she's had 3 jobs in the last 52 weeks and none of them have submitted her ROEs.
Oh, what the fuck?
So she's like,
Really?
well, what do I do? Like,
dude, I would be at their front door
ROEs.
coughing
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
they fucking like.
right? But
Yeah,
like,
they're fucking with her like house.
Fuck that
no,
shit, man.
At least though, surprisingly, Pursuit paid their staff out like an extra 2 weeks when they closed everything, which I was like, wow. And they closed all their hotels before a lot of other places did. I'm kind of, we rag on Pursuit a lot, Brewster a lot, but like I'm pretty impressed with the way they handled stuff in town here.
They are a national
well.
corporation.
Yeah, so they got to cover your ass, right?
Shit.
But it's
Absolutely.
still good to see them doing it. Like it kind of
Sure.
gives a little bit of faith to the big bad of Jasper National Park.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like if they're gonna do like a mandatory lockdown, don't leave your house. I'm not about totalitarian shit. I'm not about George Orwell's 1984 happening, but they're doing it in places and it's helping flatten the curve. I hate that statement, but like what?
Yeah.
If everything's closed, why not just be like, okay, like you can go out of your house for walks and stuff, but stay inside, and like. Anyone who voted for the goddamn Conservative Party in Alberta and that want to use their cell phones for tracking quarantine breach stuff is creepy as shit. Goddamn Alberta. Getting weird. But like, I'm not opposed to 2 months, don't go outside, an hour a day, get your grocery shopping, go for a walk around the block, whatever. Fucking just barricade the highways. Like, man.
I feel like if you're gonna do that, yes, do it. But there was an $82 billion package that they laid out.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I mentioned this like on a previous show, but like I was talking to Katie about this today, and it's like there's like what 32 million people in this country.
I have like 34 or so.
Okay, so let's just say there's 35 million people in this country with an $82 billion surplus. Shut the country down for 2 months and throw everybody $1 million.
Ha! Right?
Right? No,
that's
Dude,
not.
like,
That's not. That's. You
I
think,
know
like,
there's a lot
taxable,
more.
one time only. Here's $1
Yeah.
million. Sit the fuck home. Don't fucking leave. If you do, we're gonna throw you in, like not just like TV jail. You're going to like quarantine jail.
In the Philippines, they're shooting people who disobey.
Yeah, so I mean, well,
Hey,
it's not right.
no, it's not.
but I mean, fuck, stay the fuck in your fucking house.
Right. Like I'm doing a bit of work, and I'm like, because I'm working with someone. Him and I have had the discussion of like us both being good. I feel okay with it, but I'd rather just squash this. Like people are still coming here for the weekend. There's still tourists coming to town.
Bullshit.
Absolutely.
The longer everybody fucks around with this, the longer it's gonna fucking take.
Exactly.
So just get it done. Let's just fucking get it done. And then
We're like a year away. We are a year away from a vaccine, at least.
Yeah, and they're saying the hump is going to end in like August or so. Like this is the phase 1. Let's just stop. Let's just stop what we're doing. Like, I don't mind waiting in line to go inside the grocery store. I don't mind. I'll wear a mask. I'll fucking. I carry this sanitizer with me everywhere. I touch my keys, wash my hands. Touch the door, wash my hands. You know, like, it's not hard to do this stuff. And with the government paying us, like, you know, $2,000 a month is livable. It's more than a lot of people make working right now.
Sooner or later, the money's going to run out, though.
Yes, of course, but that's why we need to do this now and not just like kind of pussyfoot around it until it's like we don't want to turn into the States.
Yeah, no, like that's
got like half a million cases right now. Like that's not okay. They've got 300 million people. Like they've got,
and it's only growing because people are still getting repatriated back into the U.S.
Yeah,
like as of fucking today.
But
so they're not even near their peak. Yeah. They're not even near what their peak is.
That's a scary thing. Repatriation. Like if I was stuck somewhere, I'd want to be at home. But I'd also understand why it's not okay.
I'm not moving. I think Jeff Parham is doing that.
Yeah, he's in Bali. He wrote a big article that was in the Fitzhugh, I think, that he's staying down there. And then like people were calling him out for fucking taking Kickstarter funds because he was taking care of his dad and stuff before his old man passed, and so they like tried to smear him for that, and it's like he's just having a permanent vacation. It's like, no, he's just being smart and not leaving where he is. I'm sure he'd like to get back to his fucking life and his apartment and, you know, his normal routine.
Like at least like we got some form of comfort, right? Like we're at our homes, stay home. Like I said, it's the most comfortable place you could fucking be,
right?
Like it's like I understand if you can go a little fucking crazy after a while, but I mean, it's the most comfortable place you can fucking be. Like
it's the
buy a fucking video game system for God's sakes, people.
Well, dude, like last 2 weeks ago or something,
you'll be home forever. You won't even notice it. The
Switch sold 500,000 units in a week.
Well,
like you can't buy Switches anymore. They're gone. They're out of. They ran out. And I get it because that is like for families that don't game. That is the console to buy.
Absolutely.
Buy a Switch. You got Mario Party, you got Mario Kart, you can play 4 people playing it. You know, like it is the that's just weird, Justin.
Sold out of Switches, but I bet you there's a surplus on Xbox Ones.
Oh, fuck, probably. Though, you know what? With Game Pass, man, like if I was gonna get
we're giving them away. It's gonna be like those old timey like cable station like used car commercials like, come on down to John Wentworth Xbox. We got Xbox. And it's like $10. Sorry.
Yeah, but dude, with Game Pass, like you could play a lot of fucking games for like $8 a month or whatever it is. You know, like if you were gonna invest in something, if you're like, oh, I still got my PS3, it's fine, or my Xbox 360. Now would be the time to get a new console, and the Xbox is the better option. In all honesty, just because of Game Pass.
Oh, come on now,
dude. Because like what PlayStation Now, Game Pass is your better option.
Is PlayStation not the same thing as Game Pass?
It is, but Game Pass is cheaper, has more games, and you can download the games, so you don't need a constant internet connection.
Also, you can
keep
the games
now.
You can download PlayStation 4 games from PlayStation Now, some PS2 games, but you can't download PS3 games because they can't emulate PS3 games. You have to stream them from an emulator.
Fucking Johnny Johnson's going like fucking wild right now.
Yeah.
I told you guys. I told you.
Yeah, whatever. PlayStation for life.
You didn't tell me shit, sir.
Did you guys see the new PlayStation controller?
Yeah, that was fancy. I like it. It's slick.
I think they're pretty nice too.
I saw a couple of pictures and I didn't know if it was a hoax. Like
no, that's real. They jumped the what do you call it? They got ahead of the leaks because they sent those out to programmers and stuff that want to use the because there's haptic feedback in the triggers. There's all these new sensors and shit like that. So they send them out to producers that want to use it, developers that want to use it. Sorry. So they went, hey, here's the PlayStation 5 controller. It's not a DualShock, so we don't get the DualShock 5. Well, yeah, we don't get the DualShock 5, which is a shame, but it's the DualSense, and it looks a little more Xboxy, but hopefully it's a bit bigger. Like the PS3 controllers, I had a hard time holding.
You know what? The Xbox
PS4 controller is good. That's my favorite controller so far.
The PS4 controller is good, but the Xbox One controller is really good. And I'm a Sony guy. Like, honest to God, I would never fucking buy an Xbox.
I don't like the bumpers. I don't like the bumpers.
I like the 360 controller way better than PS3.
I like the
bumpers.
I like those triggers. I like the
It's
Xbox
all
triggers.
lopsided. It's all weird.
Right?
What?
No,
that offset fucking thumbstick.
Fuck that shit.
Oh wow,
Fuck it.
dude.
I
Okay,
fucking
Tyson,
use one for my PC gaming, and it fits so good in your hand. Like it's a good
I bet
controller.
it does.
I know all about
it's good in your hand too. Other men,
Yeah.
All of the dicks.
Yeah, no, I'm a Sony guy. Honest to God, like everything about. I would never buy a fucking Xbox in my life. Not fucking once. I never have, and I never will.
No.
I will always buy Sony. I will buy whatever the fuck Sony puts out. I'm a PlayStation guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get a PS5. Much to the chagrin of my wife.
Fucking
But,
PS5. I already told Inga, like, when the PS5 comes out, it's like, we're just going to buy one. And she was like, what do you mean we? Yeah, okay. Well, it's for us. It's for the family.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great out.
Yeah.
It's for the family.
It's for the family.
You'll never get a
best
turn. You will never get a turn.
Oh, you're holding up the PS1 controller, right? Like the original.
Really?
No analog sticks or nothing.
No, I need this.
Nah, I don't think those are like, man, Sony put it together really good. I just think like they're gonna hit the middle between the Xbox and the PS4 controller, and it's probably gonna be an excellent controller.
It looks good.
Probably gonna be
It's
excellent.
gonna be better for bigger hands. Apparently, I'm gonna be keen on it. I hope that you can use the PS4 controller.
But what's the deal with the touchpad? Is it still the same, like, kind of underused thing that the PS4 is?
It looks the same.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think because like this thing's only realistically, it's only going to be backwards compatible with PS4 games. Like, let's be honest, you'd have to have it for the few games that utilize it, and not a lot of games do. It is just a big button. I don't really care for it, but I'm also not. I don't hate it.
It's usually the map function though for most games.
Yeah,
like a lot of games that I play.
It's the select button. They just got rid of the select button.
Yeah.
It's days gone. The menu used it, and you could swipe to different things. I didn't like it in Injustice, where you could use it for like you had to use it for the QTEs in the story mode. That was obnoxious and terrible.
I don't remember that.
You could do that. Like there's very few games that utilize it. It's like the Vita. There was one game that utilized all the functions of the Vita, and it was Uncharted, Drake's Golden Abyss. And like, you tilt that thing, you use, when you're taking pictures of stuff, you move it, you swipe the back touchpad. So like any new version of the Vita would have to have a back touchpad, even though it was useless. Like L2 and R2 being swipe buttons doesn't really work. So like, I think they kind of, you can't, you could re-release games, but you couldn't just put a PS4 game in a PS5 that used the touchpad without a touchpad. And I think that's kind of what they were hoping to be able to do. We'll see in time if they're capable at all of actual backwards compatibility, which I think is going to be really tough for the PS5 come launch window when all this shit's going down. And with the new Xbox, you can play every Xbox game from any Xbox system. And the PS5 is going to be like, you can play some PS4 games, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm still buying one, but like, damn. It also makes me want to buy an Xbox One when they're super cheap so I can play my Xbox 360 games, because my Xbox 360 is a piece of shit and won't let me play good games.
Really? That's interesting that your Xbox 360 is a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, the one you gave me that reads discs, it won't let me log in, and I had to go through like an hour of security checks again, and it's just like, yeah, no, change your password. And I changed my password, and they're like, nope, change your password. And I'm like, I registered the device, I did all that shit, so I'm kind of against Xbox right now.
So it's basically a paperweight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I've got 3 360s.
I'm sorry, you have 3 Xbox 360s?
Yeah. I found one at the dump.
Johnny Johnson?
No, I found one at the dump. I've got mine, and I've got Justin's. Because when the PS3 came out, it was like $600 and something, So Justin and I bought 360s. Well, Roberta bought me one, and then Justin's like, "Okay, you got a 360? I'll buy a 360." Because the PS3 was stupid expensive.
No.
That's the only time I jumped ship from PlayStation, and it was strictly a cost thing.
So yeah,
I don't know. Like I still want to get a PS5, but like I'm hoping they'll have like what do you call it? Like, you know, exclusive launch titles. But
I think they do have exclusive coming. I don't think it's coming out this like Christmas.
They claim it, and Phil Spencer is saying that the Xbox is on track. Supply lines haven't really been affected from China because like both consoles are manufactured by Foxconn, right? So all the parts and shit come out of China. And
China's actually like they're not out of it, but they're probably going to be out of it before the rest of the world.
Well, they just declared dogs as companions and not livestock, so that's a start.
That's a big start. That's important.
Legit news. But like, I want to buy one at launch, but I'm also like, what's the actual cost going to be? What's the benefit going to be? Well, I've never. The only console I bought at launch was the PS2, and I bought it like probably 6 months after launch because making $13 a week delivering papers ain't a lot of fucking money when that thing was $500.
Yeah,
but I did it, man. I fucking did it. I hid money from my dad so he wouldn't take it, and I fucking did it. I remember biking down on my fucking BMX all the way downtown because I was living in Lethbridge at the time, buying it, and then being like, well, we don't have the edition that you wanted with the game and the memory card. And I was like, that's fine. I'll just take the money off and give me the console. The bike home, I had borrowed a game from a friend, and I was like, okay, this is going to be awesome. I put it in, I was like, shit, I don't have a memory card. So I had to bike all the way back downtown, buy a memory card, bike all the way back, and it was just, like that. It was awesome, though, having that somewhat new. I've never really had much FOMO with video games until the Final Fantasy VII remake came out. Really struggling here, guys.
I kind of got that. Yeah, I kind of got that with... I re-uploaded GTA 5, and I'm actually glad that I did because I'm breezing through the story, and the online is just like, I mean, it's a clusterfuck. Second to none. It's second to none.
I don't think they're ever going to put out another story-based GTA game.
Which makes me sad. Which makes me sad, and we talked about that.
I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the missions. I enjoy the single player. Like I've always like I played the original Grand Theft Auto games and was like not, they were fucking hard, the top down shit. But when GTA 3 came out, I was like, holy fuck, this is amazing. GTA 4, like when
San Andreas. San Andreas is
right, but like all these games are awesome. The story, the voice acting, the characters, all that is amazing. I don't want, like, there are a lot of single player games coming out, but I just like, I hope they don't go, we make millions of dollars. Like GTA 5 is still one of the top selling games. Yeah. And that shit came out for last gen consoles. Dude, that shit came out like 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
It's going on Steam sales for like $19 or like $20.
Yeah, well, I had a physical copy that I lent to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I paid $20 for a digital copy with like $80 or $20 million or something because it was $25. Like that's why it's in the top 10 like charts every week for 10 years. Like, why would they make single player? They don't have to.
I know. I think they lose a ton of odd. Like they would sell a shit ton of stuff. Like they would.
One of the Hausers already left Rockstar, man. Like one of the brothers left after Red Dead 2.
They would sell so much. They wouldn't lose that much money, but I feel like that's where the series, like, it shines, and like even in obviously in Red Dead, but the series shines in its single player stuff. And they can't forget the roots that much. I mean, I guess they could, but I don't think they will. Dude, I mean, they're going to see the dollar signs.
A thing to follow.
Because even the latest Call of Duty has, like, they went to, like, the Fortnite,
Yeah, they've got a free model, right? Like, you can get that Modern Warfare for free. Warzones, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought it because obviously I wanted to play this, and like the story is fantastic. It's not as long as like some of the like the original Modern Warfare, or any of those, but I mean it's still fucking intense, and something that I personally look forward to is I never start playing online until I beat the campaign.
Right, and that's
For any game, for Red Dead, for GTA, for Call of Duty.
Yeah, like that Call of Duty that I played most recently, I don't know if it's the most recent one, but the World War II Call of Duty.
No, it's not the most recent.
Okay,
yeah, no.
I don't know. I bought it on the Steam sale. It was pretty fucking cheap, and I played the single. I know it had all this multiplayer, and I didn't really like multiplayer that much because there's always like 800 people that just fucking shoot me immediately, and wow, this is fucking boring. I spawn, I get shot, and then I spawn, I get shot, and that goes until the timer runs out. That's fucking shit. But the single player is like you play, like your first mission is D-Day. It's just like the Medal of Honor from PS1 and stuff like that.
Or even like COD, right? Like the first COD.
Yeah,
playing
like
that at the digital den when you're doing that.
Yeah, your first mission is D-Day. That's the first, and then and as you progress into France and into Germany is like how the story goes. And
that was the best Call of Duty.
But like it's cool because like most Call of Duties is just like shoot, and then you finish the level, and the next level you just shoot, and that's it, the whole fucking game. But this game, it like you shoot, and you do that for like two or three levels, and then it's like a fucking stealth mission, like where
the sniper missions were always fun in the Call of Duty games.
There's like a couple of those, but
like
they're more
or whatever in the first Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I do remember. Like you're on the Winter Mountain.
No, there's one where you're in like the Ukraine and you're in a ghillie suit and you're going through like
it's Chernobyl. It's Chernobyl. You're in Chernobyl, yeah.
I fucking love sniper shit in those games more than anything else. But it's more organic. Like you're blasting your way into somewhere, and then they're like, "Hey, get up there in the fucking tower and fucking take out those guys." And then you're like, "Okay," and then you just run up.
There's a little bit more character development as well in World War II.
Yeah.
Because I have that game as well, and the story is fantastic. Like it's not because you get a game, whether it be Battlefield or whatever, and the World War II game is always the same. It's fucking D-Day, it's fucking France,
you're
in the Ardennes Forest, it's fucking the Battle of the Bulge, and then it's like someplace in Germany.
Yeah, you always take Stalingrad back. So in this reimagining of the World War II era of COD, do they switch like nationalities? Like, do you play as Russians? You're only American? Or?
You're only American. You don't play Stalingrad. You don't play anything like that.
Actually,
you do play
World War II.
Two is that you'd be the Russians taking Stalingrad back. You'd be like you swapped sides and you saw all.
Well, you should because it's a huge turning point of the war. It was like arguably the fucking one of the biggest because it split Hitler's fucking defenses in two spots.
Yeah,
but
the other side they were fucked where they were.
Yeah,
but see, this is where the character development comes in for like the World War II game because you're following one soldier who happens to be named Daniels. I will say that,
and everyone's like Daniels. I must have been really.
And I'm like, I'm coming. Awesome. Reporting for duty.
It's fucking Josh Duhamel is fucking like Daniels, get over here.
He's like a sergeant,
and everybody's like, "Fuck sergeant. That guy, I hate that guy." And then you're like, "Yeah, well, he's not so bad."
You're the fucking hero, dude. Daniels is the fucking hero.
He's the fucking hero. And then
the main character,
he's the main.
He's the main character. Yeah,
it's the guy you play the whole game. It never. Well, actually, you play like one of the French resistance, like she's a woman. You play her, and she has to go in and like stealthily. You got to give a passport and say the right password and say the right things.
It's like a German headquarters. It's like a Reich headquarters.
And you got to go in and infiltrate and get to a double agent who gives you like a bomb.
They ask you for your fucking papers and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And like, but they split it up, and then all of a sudden you're driving a tank, and all of a sudden you're driving a fucking plane, and like they split it up so like
kind of thing.
It never gets stale. The game never gets stale from start to finish because when you're like, I've had enough, just fuck it, I'm gonna shut the game off as soon as this level's over because I'm kind of sick of just running and shooting with a machine gun in like buildings and shit. I'm just had enough of this, and then bam, you're fucking an airline, you're flying a plane. fucking dogfighting.
Yeah, I used to be really into first-person shooters. I kind of actually want to ask Eric about the new Modern Warfare because I like the remaster was a PS Plus game months ago, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll give that a go again because I really enjoyed the old Call of Duties, right? But like, I don't know, man. It didn't pull me in. I was playing it, going, yeah, it's all right. But like the new one's totally different, right? Like the physics engine, everything runs tight. It's smooth. It's like it feels robust. Like I've been playing a lot of like Devil May Cry 5 and Resident Evil 2 and 3 are on that like Reach for the Moon engine that Capcom developed, and everything's really liquid and smooth and really hyper realistic. And I'm really kind of stuck in that game mode right now. And I think playing like the remaster of Modern Warfare was like, it was a little bit jarring, and I was also just kind of, I've done this before. Like I platinumed this game originally. Like, but the new one,
you might feel the same way about the new Modern Warfare because it does. Obviously. It's a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Right. So there's you have to hit your objectives but the clipping is perfect. The sound is perfect.
Yeah, they put a lot of work into their sound design. They won best sound design, I think, last year at the VGAs.
It's just so like I think it was Modern Warfare 3 where you like the first mission is like you're like the terrorists going through like the airport.
Oh no, that's 2. That's 2. Is
that 2? Is that 2?
Yeah, that's like what the fuck?
Yeah,
and that's in the remaster because they just dropped the remaster of Modern Warfare 2 like 3 or 4 days ago, and no Russian is still in there.
Really?
Yeah, so you still go through, and people were just like, yeah, when you go through it now, it's really fucked because they prettied it up a fair bit and physics a bit.
Oh, it must be.
That's the one, like, at the start of the mission. It's like, this mission may be disturbing.
Yeah,
like,
you can choose not to play it.
You're playing a fucking war game where you're slaughtering millions of people.
You're killing innocents is the thing.
Yeah.
You're down civilians.
Yeah. This is like, and I mean, it is fucking powerful and it is fucking crazy.
And that's the thing about storytelling in video games, though. Like, I like how they give you the option not to play it, and I'm glad when they remastered it, they kept it in there because to censor your own art, like they censored a thing in Persona 5 because they have stereotypical gay people in it, and people were like, stereotypical gay people, oh, you can't have that, so they like remove character dialogue because it's like, oh, I don't want to offend anyone, and it's like, it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah. It's a game, it's art. Just let it go. Yeah.
Exactly. There's offensive shit. Life can be pretty goddamn offensive.
Life is quite offensive.
Whatever. Like if you get offended by it, don't play it. Don't make it so nobody can play it.
Yeah, don't play it. Yeah. Well, like
if realistic violence is not for you, then you shouldn't be playing a game that's based around realistic violence.
Yeah. Not just realistic violence, but violence that happened to real people.
Yeah, like this actually And you know what? Like I played that Call of Duty World War II game, like I played it on really easy difficulty the first just to get to the end, and it was still pretty fucking hard. But like I turned it to like really hard just to go, let's make this real. Like if I get shot, I fucking die. And I lasted like, I think I hopped out of the D-Day boat and then I got mowed down going to like the first obstacle. And that's what it was really like.
Like what?
That's what it was really
60%
like.
60% of those people that ran out there?
That was like you hop out of that boat and I was like going for like, there was like a fucking, like just a metal thing, and I was just gonna go,
the X
like those things,
block thing.
I was just going for one of those, and I'd only been playing the game for about 10 seconds, and I was fucking dead. And I'm like, well, that's fucking real life. Like that happened to fucking so many of the actual people.
What was it? The first Call of Duty, or maybe it was the second. I can't recall. That was so long ago. Where you're doing that storming the beaches thing, and when you die, you just become someone else.
That's Battlefield 1, I think.
Was it?
I think so.
I know Battlefield 1 does that, but I thought a Call of Duty did that with the Normandy thing.
Because that was
like,
cool.
I thought it would be like, that was where they give the name of the person.
Yeah, and then when they were born and when they died, and they died when you got shot in that game, and then you just assume a new character.
I had a hard time. I've got Battlefield 1. I had a hard time getting into it.
It's like fucking John Smith. Like
1882.
Yeah, like 1889 to 1915, and then you're like, oh fuck, like.
What do you guys? What is the like differences to you guys in the Call of Duty and the Battlefield? Because to me, those games are very very similar.
Battlefield
there
is
isn't
super.
really difference.
So the first one I would say is as good as the Call of Duty campaign is. That's how bad the Battlefield campaign is. But then the opposite. Some people will say that the multiplayer online is better than Call of Duty. It's very open. It's huge.
It was a big thing about the vehicles thing too, because like the Battlefield had a really big PC following.
Yes.
Battlefield Vietnam was fucking so good.
You just got me rock
giant
hard.
maps. You got like you hop into a helicopter and CCR is playing, and two of your boys hop in and they're gunners, and you're just
awesome.
flying over rice paddies and
with
shit.
No doors. Just
dude. Yeah,
You're
no.
just
Battlefield
mowing
had a
people
big
down.
online
That's
following
awesome.
because of the vehicular combat, because of the giant maps. Call of Duty was fast, tight, deathmatch shit, which people like more nowadays. And I don't know. I'm not big online, so I don't really know how the new ones are. I think the last Battlefield company I played to completion was probably Bad Company and Bad Company 2.
Well, I had Battlefield. Like Battlefield 1, which was like all the World War I.
Yeah, I've got that one
stuff.
too. I did get through it. Did you make it through that game?
Not the campaign, because like again, the campaigns are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
like it's just, even if you're playing it on easy,
they're just really complicated and hard.
You just get mowed down.
Yeah, it's just super hard. It's super hard, and it's just it's stupid to say, but it's like it's just too realistic.
Yeah. Well, all the first-person games I've been playing the last couple of years are all horror games, so they're really slow in plotting. And when I get into a Battlefield with fucking machine guns and bombs dropping, I'm like,
dude, if Call of Duty drops a fucking Vietnam game, that's it. Like
I feel like they had one years ago.
No, I agree with that.
I'm thinking of something else.
Battlefield, or Call of Duty kind of had one with Black Ops 2.
Oh yeah, they had like the Bay of Pigs, and they had
1.
all these like Black Ops 1 and 2 actually had old Black Ops, real Black Ops missions.
Yeah,
like where you did,
but like a standalone, like you're in, like you're in Da Nang, and then you're in Hue, and then you're in the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want to see. I want the fucking Tet offensive.
You want the apocalypse now of
I want the Platoon apocalypse now.
Just imagine if they put a fucking Tiger Force video game out.
Oh, good lord!
Right? How savage would that be?
Oh.
All right, the intro scene. You're just drowning some puppies for shits and giggles, and it's like goes from there.
Yeah, fuck, man. Every time I hear about a new Call of Duty, it's always like, and I will say this, like, even though I bought World War II, I heard new Call of Duty, and I was like, oh, and it's like World War II, and I'm like, fuck off. Like,
and that's why Activision can get away with anything.
How many times can I take the fucking beach in Normandy before we move on from this?
That's still my favorite. When I saw Modern Warfare, I go, eh. And when I see like it's World War II or World War I,
but you get
go,
exosuits in Modern Warfare. I know,
but like in the other ones, like they're like Modern Warfare. Is that battles that really happened?
The first Modern Warfare takes place in a lot of like Middle Eastern things, but I don't know if they're historical.
They're not actual battles, but I mean you're getting like true to life shit that was going on before COVID ended the war on terror.
Okay. Done now. There we go.
Yeah, I mean,
just wait. I don't know what the way Trump's going. There'll probably be a new fucking enemy by the end of the year.
He's gonna blame the Middle East for COVID next week. He blamed China this week.
Oh no, he's all about China. No, it's all China's fault.
There's gonna be a fucking civil war down there. Like,
hey, it'll make a hell of a video game down the road if we're all still here.
Call of Duty Civil War.
It's gonna be Texas going against everybody.
Hey, have you guys ever played Wolfenstein? Like those games? But like not like the newer Wolfenstein?
The old Wolfenstein 3D on PC.
No, but have you played the new one?
No, I haven't played it. Like New
the New
Blood,
Order?
like
New Order or New Blood, whatever the fuck it's called.
The one with the hub world and the two characters.
Yeah, like you're chasing a guy named Death's Head. And he's like, when he shows up in the game, he's like a crazy Nazi, but the whole game is set in an alternate universe.
Where they won.
where the Nazis win. And
Oh, Justin, are you not on top of this, or
like I thought that you fucking would be loving this, but
no, I did not. Play
you are the
Wolfenstein.
glorious
no?
leader.
No, you did not play that game.
It's called it's Fuhrer, buddy. It's Fuhrer.
It's cool, man. Like,
Oh,
you guys, if you guys don't care about spoilers, and if anyone's listening, if you're gonna play this game, I'm gonna spoil a couple of things.
I think you can love these.
Yeah. Okay. So at what like you're getting your way into like it's still World War II. You're gonna win the battle. All this stuff, and then at one point you get trapped by like you see Death's Head. He's a fucking bald, scarred up looking dude. He's a fucked up looking guy, but he's fucking pure evil. And he's
Side note, do you know why a lot of officers had scarred faces?
Because that was the way it was.
Nazis? Knife fights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most officers have scarred faces from knife fights, against each other.
Okay, well, this guy's like he's just pure evil. Like his eyes are fucking crazy in the game and everything. Like when you see him, like you're trying to escape a door, and you get to the door, and he just fucking turns up in the window, and he's like, bah! And the music goes crazy. But like he's like he traps you guys, and you're just about to fucking win, and you're like, and he fucking traps you guys, and he's like, and you've just been traveling like with these two other characters for a little while. And one of them's like a young guy and one of them's an old guy. And like they both have personalities that you've got to know. And he's like, well, pick one. And then like there's a guy holding a gun and like you choose which one. Like it's pretty great. Like you choose which one fucking dies. And then like as you pick the guy, he's like, don't worry about it. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but like, don't worry about it. It's fine. And then he just gets shot in the head. And you're like, oh, fuck. I picked that guy to die. Like it's fucking crazy. And then as you escape from that, you get shot in the head and you end up in an insane asylum because you're a fucking deaf mute who's fucking brain damaged. And like you're just living like the next few scenes as a guy who can't move. You're just experiencing the story, but it's like 10 years later. You've been fucking asleep for like 10 years and you're still like a Nazi fighter, but you can't do anything about it. And the Nazis are just coming in, like taking mental patients to experiment on them all the time. And all the nurses are freaking out and the doctors are just trying to help these people. And you're one of those mental patients because you haven't said a word in 10 years. You've just been sitting in a wheelchair because you got shot in the head. And then all of a sudden you snap. Like when all these Nazis show up, like you just snap and like you grab a gun and like bang, you shoot this guy in the head. And then all of a sudden it all comes back to you what the fuck happened. And then you meet, like, you shoot your way out of there, and then you meet these people who are like, yeah, no, it's like 1955, man. Like, it's been a long time. Like, the Nazis rule the fucking world. And then you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I remember now, because, like, yeah, it's Wolfenstein takes place after World War II, because the Nazis won. Yeah.
And, like, even the sequel to this game takes place, like, in a place where, like, if you get a red card in soccer, you just get shot in the head.
Did you guys ever see that the show on Amazon, Man in the High Castle?
Yeah, I have watched a couple episodes of that.
Basically, it's very good. That's what that is, basically. It's if Germany wins World War II.
Yeah, and it's fucking cool because it's like
it's very cool.
California and like Seattle and like that whole Western is like the Japanese Pacific states.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the East is like the Greater Nazi Reich or whatever.
And the middle of America is like a neutral zone and Washington was like nuked.
Yeah, like it's a cool idea.
It's a very cool idea. It's based on a Philip K. Dick story.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Philip K. Dick is awesome.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah.
There's also a
future shit from him.
Mm-hmm.
There's also
all his writing was.
There's also kind of a fun movie where the Nazis knew they were going to lose, so they went to the moon.
A lot of people believe that's why they were developing the V2 rockets, right?
Yeah, and they established like a whole community on the moon, and they're like doing like Nazi.
Are you talking about the awesomeness that is Iron Sky?
I am.
That's what it's called. I was trying to remember.
And they go back to Earth, and like everybody's like, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Like,
man, in Iron Sky 3, and like Adolf Hitler has a Tyrannosaur.
Yeah, and they teach that like Nazi Germany like won everything and all this, and like they're the all powerful, and like all the kids generations have grown up on the moon, like indoctrinated into this like propaganda, and then it's like it's quite a thing. Like
It's interesting.
I'm a
I
fan of
can't
fictional
believe-
history stuff. Like, I wish there was more fictional history. There was one video game where I think the Chinese invaded America, Homefront,
Okay.
where you fight as an American soldier and you're fighting on American
Yeah.
soil against a Chinese invasion. Like,
Yeah.
alternate history shit is pretty cool, where it's just like,
very
hey,
interesting for
this could
sure.
have happened.
Sid, you should look up the book series Temeraire. I'm sure I've told you about it, but it's called Temeraire. I'll write it.
Tim?
Temeraire. I'll write it in the notes so that
Thanks.
I can spell it properly.
Temeraire.
But it's basically the concept is that it's about the Napoleonic Wars, but instead of the Navy having boats, the Navy has dragons.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
it's and the first book is all about the British culture and the British Navy and their British dragons, but every book subsequently delves into different countries and the types of dragons that they have, and eventually you go to places like Africa and the types of dragons they have in China and the types of dragons. It's really fucking cool.
That
It's a cool
sounds
series,
interesting. Yeah, I
for sure.
dig that idea.
It's very cool.
Who was
Yeah,
that?
and the first book is called Her Majesty's Dragon. I'll type it for you.
That's awfully nice of you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, man. Dude, and like, well, before we leave the World War II topic, I gotta say my favorite World War II game is definitely Blood Rain.
Blood Rain's pretty bad. I like Blood Rain too, actually.
Right? You're just
I
fighting
haven't played it.
Nazis.
Yeah, and the first movie is actually pretty decent.
Just
They
'cause
made a
Kristanna
movie?
Loken's in it.
They made like 7 of them.
What, really?
Oh,
No, don't.
really?
Let's not talk about this. So the first video game is awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
the first
It's like
video game is
San
really
Francisco
good.
before they close down, and you know you're a vampire who gets discovered by a group who kind of sends you off, and you get sent to Louisiana because there's Nazis there
Louisiana, eh?
investigating
Yeah.
kind of voodoo stuff, and
It's
because the Nazis
always
have the
Nazis.
Gegengeist group. And they're the, you know how Hitler was into the occult and black magic shit, so this takes that as serious. So as a vampire, you go to Argentina where they're trying to like pull up like parts of Belial, like a demon, so that they can summon them into existence to destroy the allies and shit. It's pretty sweet because you bullet time, blades, and vampirism. And just hacking Nazis into literal pieces. Limbs are flying everywhere in slow motion, just arms and legs and heads. And there is the amazing line of "I'll wear you like lederhosen."
Ooh.
Is this a Tarantino movie?
Yeah, right. It's a Majesco game. I don't think Majesco
Limbs
makes video
flying
games.
everywhere and bitching lines. Like, I love
Yep.
that.
I'll wear you like lederhosen. Come on.
Oh,
It's incredible.
man, now I wish Tarantino did make a Blood Rain movie.
God, no. Anyone?
No.
No, wait. No, not anyone. That didn't work out well.
No, it did not.
Michael Bay? Could Michael Bay make a movie?
Better than the movies we got. There's
Hey,
still
man.
directors that are worse than Michael Bay.
There's way more
Yeah,
better.
like Tim Burton.
Hey, whoa,
Hot
whoa,
take. There's a hot take.
whoa!
That was
Yeah.
a hot take.
Yeah.
Do we
fuck
want to
Tim
talk
Burton.
about that? Tim
No,
Burton is
there's nothing
worse
really to talk about.
than Michael
He
Bay?
sucks. He
He
sucks.
worse
sucks.
than Michael Bay.
He's a fucking drugstore version of Steven Spielberg.
What are you? Wow.
What? Wow.
Wow.
What?
No, because both
No.
both directors play it safe. Let's be honest. As much as I love Spielberg, he plays it safe. He has his guy. He has Tom Hanks that he loves to go to, fucking DiCaprio, and then history is his fucking genre for the most part.
I don't
And
think
Tim Burton does the exact same
been in
thing.
a Spielberg
Tim Burton
movie.
Tim Burton fills movies in his fucking backyard with crooked houses, with crooked roofs. The guy's read way too many Ronald Dahl books.
It's
What role?
artistic.
For my liking.
Artistic.
I'm sorry. No. Tim Burton can go eat it. He's left.
Yeah.
Sid left. He's fucking out of here.
That's funny. That's funny. He just
I'm
did an impression of
metaphorically
me.
getting up and leaving.
He just did an impression of me at a Tim Burton movie, walking out and fucking leaving.
What?
I can't stand him. I'm sorry.
Man of Steel, Tyson, go.
Oh fuck! I'm waiting for
No,
fucking.
there's no fucking comparison.
God help
I
me,
know
if Tim Burton had his hands on
every
Superman.
Tim Burton movie is better than Man of Steel, and
You
Tim
saw what
Burton
he did to
almost did
Batman.
make.
Look, the only good movie he made was the first Batman.
Whoa.
Beetlejuice?
Batman.
Beetlejuice? No? You don't like Beetlejuice?
Big Fish,
Oh,
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice
Edward
doesn't really hold up for
Scissorhands.
me.
Did he do
Beetlejuice
Big
is a
Fish?
classic
Scissorhands?
movie.
Yeah, Big Fish is awesome.
And
I
what's
don't
wrong with
think I've ever-
dude?
I don't
Batman
think I've ever
Returns is
seen it.
awesome. Danny DeVito is awesome.
No, it's not.
What?
Batman Returns is so bad.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you
Sweeney
probably like
Todd?
Batman and Robin, don't you? You fuck.
I was
Sweeney Todd is awesome.
You feel the same way about
not awesome.
you feel the same way about Batman Returns as I do about Man of Steel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, we agree
it's
there.
so kitsch. It's so kitsch. That first movie,
What are
and
you,
I'll
a
give him that.
17-year-old? What the fuck
He's
does
a
kitsch mean?
dude that dresses up like a bat and beats up criminals. What
The
are you
no.
fucking
talking
lines
about?
in that movie are fucking like when the penguins are shooting the rockets when he's on the fucking bat jet ski thing, and he's like, oh fuck, I can't remember the line right now, but he says something. It's like Radioactive Man punching someone in the sun and being like, hot enough for you. Like, it's just it's a stink. It's like Batman Returns is like Superman 4.
What?
It's
Wow.
shit. It's shit.
Wow.
It's a steaming coil of poo.
Maybe
There's-
if we didn't get Batman Forever and Batman and Robin afterwards, maybe I'd have a different opinion. But
I don't care for those movies at all.
No, who
You know,
does?
No.
Batman Returns, the bat suit didn't have nipples.
The
So-
fucking nipples on the suit are not the fucking
And
problem.
Michael Keaton was awesome. Those bat suits were awesome.
Yeah.
The Batmobile was awesome.
Val Kilmer was an excellent Bruce Wayne, but he did not make a good Batman, and that's my
Exactly.
opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And George Clooney, he had no business.
No, that was just like he was just, the hot ticket at the
I
time.
still don't understand how they got like some of those actors. Like they had Uma Thurman and Arnold
Jim
Schwarzenegger,
Carrey.
Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey. I can see not because
He was a
not,
good
not
Riddler.
because of the films he was awesome in that
yeah.
movie. He was
He was
awesome.
a good Riddler.
Yes.
No, and like
Probably
why
the
would you
best
not
part of
wanna
that
play-
movie. Well, and Uma Thurman. Like, I mean,
why
come
would he
on.
not? I don't. She's got.
Uma Thurman is not good in that movie. I don't care how pretty she is. She's
Nah,
not good. in that
I liked
movie.
her in that movie.
Plastic lips. Oh fuck me! I don't watch her.
I liked her. I liked her as
Great
Poison Ivy.
Dialogue, it all sounds so forced, and like I
Yeah.
felt so bad for Michael.
You know
Keaton.
Tim Burton didn't make Batman Forever and Batman.
No,
No,
but he
we're
made
talking-
the fucking
he's going
first two, and the second one was a goddamn catastrophe.
No, it
and,
it wasn't.
and I know I'm gonna take heat. I know I'm gonna take heat.
Selena Kyle, her like getting pushed out the window by goddamn Christopher Walken. Like,
Original, like Batman with
Ugh.
Michael Keaton was an epic movie, like with Jack Nicholson as
Jack
the Joker.
Nicholson.
It was
that's-
so
yes,
good.
Fantastic.
I
You're
liked
telling
Batman
me you
Returns.
enjoyed Richard Pryor in fucking Superman 3.
Fuck yes, I did. Are
Danny
you kidding me?
DeVito.
That is the fantastic story, though. You're
Richard
trying to
Pryor?
kill Superman. You're trying to kill Superman, right? You look for the recipe for kryptonite, which is outrageous.
Everybody has
Get it?
kryptonite. It's
And you
kryptonite.
turn Superman into a drunk rapist, all right? Like, Superman goes super dark in that. He's getting head from that blonde chick who's with the fucking businessman. I can't remember his name. He gets head on, like, the Statue of Liberty from this
Wait a
hooker.
second. So, like, what happens at the end of that? Like, does she get a hole blown in the back of her head, or like, what the fuck?
Well, you don't see
Holy
that.
fuck! Like,
But you don't see much of her in the rest of the movie. I will say that.
okay, well, like, fuck, like,
No, Superman 3 is way better. It's an interesting story.
yeah, but you know,
So is
I'm not
Batman
a big
Returns.
I'm just
Those
not a
other
big
Batman
Superman
movies
fan.
were like the precursor for what the summer blockbuster is like today.
Oh, absolutely. I've got all the Pogs from Batman Forever.
Oh,
Got 'em all.
bastard.
I have
Oh,
Pogs
even the
from there
Slammer.
too.
I was thinking
Slammer,
about Pogs a lot in the last couple days. Like, I wish
Fucking
I could
Pogs.
play Pogs.
I
I
have
remember
I have
Batman
original
has some guns.
Batman the movie trading cards.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I had a picture with that Batman. Like a friend of mine way back in the day, his dad used to be one of the executives on the Canadian National Exhibition for our Ontario listener. And we got all like for this kid's birthday, like, you know, a bunch of us, we got like behind the scenes shit. We got our picture taken with that Batmobile. I'm sure it's lost now, but yeah, no, little fucking like 8-year-old Eric with his fucking hand on the fucking little bullet thing in the middle.
Yet here you are, fucking a Superman fan.
Like I like Batman if he wasn't such a fucking emo pus bag. Fucking like
He's even like that a little bit in like the
Hey, you do not make fun of the cartoon.
No, he's even
Batman
a little
the
bit.
animated series is untouchable. You
No,
can't
he's
touch
even
that.
a little bit like that in like the Batman Begins and stuff, right? Like he's like, "Whoa," like, but those movies are awesome.
Do you know what really bothered me about the movie? I think it was The Dark Knight Rises. It was the last one where he's talking to Selena Kyle and she like just disappears and he turns around. He's all by himself. And in the Batman voice, he goes, "Oh, that's what that feels like." It's like, dude, did you really just say it in the fucking voice? Like, you're all alone. Like,
That was the weakest of the three for sure.
It was. Though Bane was awesome, just because I'm a big
Bane
Tom
was
Hardy
so
fan.
awesome.
I
Bane
love
was
Tom
so
Hardy. Man.
awesome.
It was
Tom
the
Hardy's
weakest
good
of
in
the
everything
three.
he's in.
It's like The
Don't give a
Dark
shit.
Knight, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises. That's how one
It's
just.
not-
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't think
I
like that
disagree
movie
with
as
it,
much.
but I that's fair. That's fair.
I think Batman Begins is the best of those three. But
Really?
that's-
Even
love
better
that
than The
one.
Dark Knight, really.
I do, yeah.
Dark Knight, or I'm sorry, Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Dark Knight
Yeah,
Rises.
that's my list. That's
I'm
my
with you
1
as
to
well
3.
with that.
yeah.
But
It's just like, and it's not even because Heath Ledger's dead. It's because I wouldn't like if he was still alive
Dude.
making fucking movies.
I have been a
He is
fan
a
of-
terrorist. Like he's
that,
a fucking
it was
terrorist.
so good.
I
Like,
have,
it was
I
so
have
good.
the Joker has been my favorite villain since I was a kid. Like watching the old '60s Batman, I fucking loved the Joker in that. I fucking loved it. It's just maniacal. He's crazy. He's
That's
nonsensical.
Cesar
He's
Chavez.
just-
Yeah, but he's logical. Like there's a method for his madness, and like it's not a fucking good method at all. But there's a method there. It's not like he's a fucking deranged lunatic.
Is there a method? Because when he burns that pile of money, if you're not all in on the fucking Joker right then and there, you should just turn the movie off.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
but like
Because,
he's like watch the world go to anarchy. Like watch how easy it is to turn everybody into anarchy. Like the whole world will go nuts if you just kill off a few select people and burn some money.
My favorite part of that movie is that the people prove him wrong. That's my favorite part of that entire movie.
Well, that's Batman. Like
yeah,
his,
you like
his
that shit.
And that's what I love about
That's
the end of
heartwarming.
Joker.
Yeah.
Is that
When Devo from Friday fucking throws the shit out the fucking boat window.
It's Zeus. It's Zeus from No Holds Barred, Tiny Lister.
what?
Buddy, I
The guy in
like
the big black
when
dude
I like
who
when
throws the
humanity is
detonator out the
better.
window.
Okay.
I like when humanity does the right thing. Yes.
Not me, man.
I'm an idealist.
I'm with the
I'm
Joker.
sorry.
I want to see the world burn.
Yeah.
So easy.
That's awesome, Michael. Some men just will watch the world burn.
It was the size of a tangerine.
Tangerine.
Michael Caine.
Hey, can we talk about
That's
Michael
a great
Caine?
story. That's a great part of that fucking of that movie.
That is a good
Christopher
footage.
Nolan.
You know-
Christopher Nolan makes good movies. He directs good scenes.
Like Man of Steel.
No.
He didn't
Not
direct
like that.
that movie.
He didn't have to direct it, man. That movie was the fucking Batman.
It's
That
because
was
he read the script and he
Batman.
fucking turned it down. He was like, no.
Yep,
No.
that's probably what he did. Yeah.
I'm going to wait
And-
when Greg comes on the show. We'll talk about Man of Steel. I'm going to watch it.
We'll get to
I'm going
that.
to watch it before. And
God, I'm gonna have
probably
to get my eyes held open to watch that.
I'll
before
watch
we
it, and
fucking
then like
talk.
sometime later, I'll probably watch Apocalypse Now. Fucking
Speaking of watching movies, let's do our weekly update. How far in are we on
fuck,
Apocalypse
I
Now?
looked at it on iTunes again.
Have you
And
even
then I had to-
bought it?
We looked
I
at
had
it
to
on
watch-
iTunes.
I
Again.
had to watch like 6 Ninja Turtles episodes, and that was
That's like
Fair,
45 minutes.
22 minutes an episode.
Yeah.
So okay, wow, you had 2 hours and 12 minutes of cartoons to watch with your son.
awesome.
That was
Well,
yeah.
I saw you on
yeah.
Twitter bitching about the Oilers at like 1:20 the other night.
That was
Yep,
They're not
I
even
saw
playing.
that. I saw that too. I saw that too.
They're not even playing hockey. He's still bitching about them.
Yep.
Just read the cliff notes.
Read the clip notes. No, you
I
have
think
to
it's time,
experience it.
See
I think
if
it's
there's a
time-
Cinemassacre fucking breakdown of Apocalypse Now and just quote James Rolfe. And
No,
be
I'm
happy.
gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, and then me and Justin are gonna talk about Hot Rod and Apocalypse Now. I'm gonna get
I'm
to
down
it.
for half of that conversation.
I'm a procrastinator.
Forget
What
Hot
can I
Rod
say?
because it's not that memorable.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
So
watch it again.
speaking of Hot Rod, I have a couple of fact checks here
Okay.
that I want to get to.
Did
at
Shroot1 give you these?
Some of them are at True One, and some of them are also our other loyal listener at C Potterface.
What a
Do they
beauty.
send you like fact check like text messages?
They're doing it
It's-
on Twitter.
Yeah, we all get them. I read them all too.
All right.
Yeah,
there you
no,
go.
So,
I get notifications for that.
Sorry,
shit.
glorious leader, if you're too glorious to read them.
So the first one is from at True One. Hot Rod is a good movie if you're into Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
So apparently, I can't remember if I've seen Hot Rod or not, but apparently the fact checker thinks it's good. So
It's solid,
we'll take
for
his
sure.
word for it, I guess.
I would take his word for it.
Also, from the Our Books, is there a movie that's better than the book? Mr. C Potterface here says that The Life of Pi is a way better movie than
I read that,
actual
yeah.
book.
I said that.
Also, Shrew One thinks that there's an argument for The Shining for you Stephen King fans out there.
The movie
I
being
believe
better
that.
than the book. Yeah.
The stories like it's just so different. Kubrick kind of really did his own thing with that.
Well,
So it's not. Does it not follow the book very close, or like what's the deal?
No, it does not.
Oh, well, fuck.
it's Kubrick. I mean, if you're familiar with Kubrick,
He frames his own world, man,
Yeah.
Okay.
and it's good. It's just
Yeah.
the book's very different.
Okay.
I bet you, just to go off on a tangent here for a second, I bet you Tim Burton is a big fan of Stanley Kubrick for all the wrong reasons.
Justin is
what
fucking
are
losing
the
it.
what are
Probably-
the wrong
probably David
reasons?
Lynch.
Oh wow! Movies can be weird and apocalyptic. Now let's just put a bunch of crooked, chimneys on all these fucking houses, and we got a fucking Tim Burton movie.
And look at that
It's
guy. He's
a
got scissors
visual
for hands.
It's a visual
Yeah,
aesthetic.
yeah.
That is a metaphor for handicapped people. Okay,
They didn't even.
motherfucker.
That's dead.
All right, that is a visual choice, just like fucking Steven Spielberg's visual choice is to.
And Edward Scissorhands was
Beautiful.
like
That's his visual choice. Is beautiful. That's what Steven Spielberg does.
Edward Scissorhands was like 20 years behind ahead of the times. Like it should have been made in like 2015. And like you make that movie in 2015, and then like there was this whole thing like, whoa, he's fucking got scissors for hands, and like, you making fun of him because he's got scissors for hands? You're
my
fucking
God.
shit. And then like it's just the total time for that was right now.
He's a fucking trailblazer. He got it.
Oh, he's burning something. He's burning something.
Is it the movie industry to the ground? Is that what you're saying?
More so than people think that Kevin Smith is doing that to the film industry. I say.
Yeah, I don't get the hate for Kevin Smith.
Neither do I. I like
I
that.
didn't watch the reboot, but I like most of his films. But I didn't watch the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I don't know.
I haven't seen the reboot.
Is
but
it out now?
I think that I don't know.
It's on Amazon.
I have really no interest in it.
Yeah, no.
It's on
I like
Amazon.
the original. And he's Kevin Smith is a huge Oilers fan.
Yeah.
He's a massive
Yeah.
Oilers fan.
Very
Even
true.
though like he wears like the same colors sometimes. Like
That doesn't mean he's an Oilers fan.
no, he's an Oilers fan. He said
Yeah,
it.
He's like a big
As he
Gretzky
said-
guy.
Yeah,
He's
he
a,
said
he's
it.
a Canada
Alright.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
well, yeah,
But he
that
loves
makes
the
sense.
Oilers, which is fucking
Okay.
rad.
All right,
Yeah,
all
and
right.
like fucking Dogma and Clerks. Those are
good.
fucking stellar movies.
Even Clerks
Yeah.
2
Oh,
is
yeah.
really good.
It's pretty good.
Clerks
Yeah.
2 is really good, yeah. And I guess the last fact check here is Forrest Gump is based on a book.
Yeah.
And there was a sequel to it that the author wrote after getting screwed on movie rights. And it, just paraphrasing the first line of the sequel book is Forrest Gump saying, "Don't let them make don't let them make a movie about you, or don't let them write a story about you."
Yeah.
Like the author taking a fucking dig at the great, the all-powerful Steven Spielberg and the fantastic. Oh no, that wasn't Spielberg. That was Robert Zemeckis. I'm sorry.
Like Back to the Future, Robert Zemeckis?
Back to the Future, Robert Zemeckis. Yeah.
No shit.
Wait a minute. Was he like the producer and Spielberg directed it?
No, he was the
Fact
director.
checker. Hey, fact checker, do your thing, man.
True one, chime in because I'm pretty sure Robert Zemeckis. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do my own fact check.
No.
Robert Zemeckis definitely
Fact checker will
made
do
Forrest
this.
Gump.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, you're saying 100% it's Robert Zemeckis.
100%.
Yeah, it
Robert
is.
Zemeckis.
He did Castaway as well. And the Back to the Future movies.
Back to the Future, Robert Zemeckis.
And Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm pretty sure like Robert Zemeckis is a massive reason why there already hasn't been a fucking shitty reboot of Back to the Future.
Yeah, he's
I'm pretty sure.
for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is like.
I don't think that's true because he did a shitty reboot of House on Haunted Hill and 13 Ghosts.
Okay.
Did he?
Well, I think that people
Yeah,
are
he
like,
did
hey,
both
we should
those
reboot
reboots.
Back to the Future or make something about Marty's kid or something. And then he's like, no, that's fucking the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my
He
life.
gets all angry.
Yeah, I think he's a big reason why they're not doing it.
I don't agree.
Because, hey, did you guys ever watch like the Ernest P Worrell things from the 90s? Like Ernest Goes to Camp and Ernest Goes to fucking Africa.
Ernest
fucking
Scared
love
Stupid was my
movies.
favorite.
I love those movies.
Right? I heard that they
Jim
were going to
Varney's
be
the shit.
rebooting that.
They can't.
No,
I
see,
heard that it's going to happen.
no.
And it's fucking the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my
Stupid.
life.
I'm
With
saying,
who?
Vern,
With fucking
You
Larry
can't
the
get-
Cable Guy?
I don't know. It's going to be some
Whoa,
guy, but it's going to be his
whoa,
Ernest
whoa.
kid.
Jeff
don't-
Foxworthy?
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
fucking
How
shut up.
you
Just shut up.
can't. There's not a human on earth who could do that. There's not anybody.
No, Jim
except
not
Varney.
at all.
Varney that could do that.
That's
Dude,
it. It's
the
over.
reason they made movies about him is because of his ads on like local cable.
Yeah,
You know what
the
I'm
guy,
saying, Vern?
the guy
Like,
made
It
ads.
was a character
talking
that they
to-
made movies about. You can't reproduce that.
No, you can't reproduce Jim. Like you can't.
Fuck no.
He made ads for everything under the sun, from ice cream to cars to fucking. Hey, this is the
and
kind
then
of
they
fucking.
wanted him
These
to
guys
make
install
movies. They wanted
fences.
him- Yeah.
Like-
No, exactly. And then they went, "Holy crap, we want to put this guy in movies."
Yeah.
You can't just make that up.
No, he did like a show live somewhere, and it got a bigger draw than the Mickey Mouse show that was in the same area.
Yeah, it was on
And
public access.
And the executives from Disney were like, "Well, look at that guy," and then they started producing like the first films, which was like, I think it was like Ernest Goes to Camp was the first you could fact check that one, but I think it was Ernest Goes to Camp was the very first Ernest P Worrell movie. He did a couple other ones, and then Disney, like, they weren't making a lot of money, so Disney fucking cut the line, and then whoever was directing them or producing them started doing it themselves. And then that's when we got Ernest Goes to Jail, where he's like eating the pen and it, like the ink explodes on his face, and he's like, he tries to wipe it off with the paper and there's ink all over the place. And the judge is like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "I'm just fine."
Yeah, dude, if you search him on YouTube, you can watch all his old public access TV ads where he'd be like, "Oh, these gutters. I tell you, it would be great to have someone here to clean them." Know what I'm saying, Vern? And he like fourth wall all the time, just looks at the camera and is talking to Vern.
Yeah,
And he
talking
was
to
like
Vern.
featured on like local news because of his how prolific he was in the community for the ads he'd do for anything, any local business he'd do ads.
Yeah, he did it
And
all.
then
He
like
did, like,
and then like fucking all right, sweet. Let's put you in 15 movies like Beverly Hillbillies and shit. Where you
yeah,
played-
that was like later. Like Disney still, despite not funding his movies anymore, still recognized the kind of talent he was, like for his character acting and all that. And they put him as Slink in Toy Story twice.
yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes.
like they,
I think they used archived voices, like his archived voice in the third one too.
They might have, because I think he died in
Died in
2000.
2000. Yeah.
Which is pretty sad. But like the guy was
Lung cancer, I think, but I think he smoked like 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
He was really young.
Yeah,
he was like he looked like a handsome country singer too. Like like not him looking silly, and he's just like this built fucking Clint Eastwood type.
Yeah. He was like one of them like old timey handsome dudes. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, man. Jim Varney was the shit. Yeah,
the strong.
Someone that you're gonna break your hand hitting him in the jaw.
Yeah.
And he's like, he could do anything, man, with character acting. Like in that, I think it was like Ernest Saves Christmas, which is like a staple Christmas movie, which is solid Christmas movie. He plays like an old woman at one point too, and he's like,
no, that's a recurring character because he plays that in Ernest Goes to Jail too when he's trying to break out. He like plays his mother in the neck brace, like, let me tell you now.
The floral fucking dress.
The neck brace and flower hat and the walker.
And you learn a little bit about the Ernest P Worrell like mythology that he's impervious to electricity because he in Ernest Goes to Jail he starts electrocuting people with his hands when he gets shocked.
And he's magnetized.
And then there's so much good stuff. Like Ernest Goes to School when he accidentally becomes super intelligent and he becomes like this caricature of himself.
I forgot there were so many fucking Ernest
and
movies.
then
there's like a dozen of them. Because
there was a TV show too, right?
No, I don't. Well, there was a small TV show for like
it's called Hey Vern.
Yeah,
it's in the public access show.
Hey Vern, it's Ernest.
Yeah,
I think I remember watching that on YTV, and I may be mistaken about that.
It was like 88 that show came out, I think.
It was only like one season, and then it was canceled.
Yeah.
Hey,
but then they do
out the same year Ernest Saves Christmas, and then what was his latest? 95 was Slam Dunk Ernest.
Oh, Slam Dunk Ernest, man. He gets like a pair of shoes that turn him into like a basketball god.
Yeah, he's like 100 feet in the air.
Yeah, he's like cleaning a mall and he like gets these shoes and then he like plays a pickup game with his basketball team.
So somebody watched Flubber with Robin Williams and was like, I bet Ernest P Worrell can fucking do this better than
but just everything he does.
It was 1998, for God's sake. Like
he's got all like
10 years of like a movie a year.
Yeah, like Ernest, man, he did so much shit, and he like so many wicked movies. Like Ernest Rides Again, Ernest Scared Stupid, the Halloween.
That was my favorite.
That's awesome. Ernest Scared Stupid is the best one for sure.
Man,
the Trolls.
Yeah, the Trolls.
Oh, Daniels.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Making them do double time.
Wheels is just cranking the bottle of Pink Whitney like there's no tomorrow. If you don't want to sponsor Wheels, at least, like Jesus Christ, boys.
I don't know if they feel good about it.
Dude, I'm drinking a lot of your fucking beverage.
Dude, there's no way. There's no way. Like, those guys get fucking 400 emails a day.
People don't know about the situation of the Glorious Leader. They don't know. It's the fourth wall.
Holy fuck. I'm sorry, man. It's going to your head, Wheels. This Glorious Leader stuff.
You're the one that kept calling me. So yes.
No, the Wheels Blues Twitter calls you this.
That's very true. They do. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know who runs that thing, but. All right, boys. I think that might do her for the night, eh?
Yeah, the Pink Whitney's crying out, and I think we're going to get a little sloppier than we need to be.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, we will.
It's about that time for sure.
Yeah, okay.
It's about
all
that
right,
time.
so that was a fucking good time, boys. I look forward to these Friday nights.
Yeah, they're fun. These are fun times.
Yeah, 7 days in between talking to you guys is just the right amount of time to make me want to do it again.
Yeah, that's right. I agree. Yeah, that's true.
That's enough time though. Now we had enough of each other.
Yeah.
All right, Wheels, do your thing, buddy.
All right, so this has been the Wheels Blues Podcast, episode 8, and my name is Glorious Leader Wheels. And
there it is.
You can follow me.
It's gone to your head.
You can follow me at Mighty Wheels on Twitter, and the rest of my social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is Justin Reither because I'm not that creative.
All right, and you can find me at Tin Can Blues on Twitter. You can find our website as wheelsbluespodcast.wixsite.com/mysite. And you can find our email as wheelsbluespodcast@gmail.com. And that's where you'll get all of us. Our website will have the blog up. I'll have the blog up tomorrow sometime. If you want to know what's going on, go to the website. The blog will tell you everything. You can find our podcast on that website as well.
And I'm at Eric_83. And as always, you can find me right here at my house.
I'm at Squeed, SKWEED, Squeed Love on Instagram, as well as the Wheels Blues Pod on Instagram. Like, share, subscribe to our podcast. Feel free to drop us a line and talk to us. We'd love to hear from you, whoever you people are that find us interesting. Yeah, we love you lots, and it's been good doing this.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Toodles.
Bye.